the only one late tonight.
Allegedly.
You're on the 15-minute
allegedly.
rule. You're on
I
the
am.
15-minute rule.
I am. We just beat it. We just did it, and but we're here. Hold on. Oh, the mic sounds fantastic because I can hear it from the background. Excellent. And
I don't know if that's good or bad.
That is good. That's good because, ladies and gentlemen, the GRG podcast is live. I said forget the intro. People are already here waiting. I'm here. I'm sorry that I'm late. I'm blaming it on the rain. No, I'm not. There's not raining out here. I'm just blaming it on me.
Ooh,
trying to do something.
Song.
I'm blaming
Milli
it on the rain.
Milli Vanilli, baby.
Rain.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah.
On the
Blame it on the
oh
sun.
man. Anyway,
that shining night.
Come on, man. Come on, man. I because that shit's loud in my ear and you sound horrible. Anyway, so
Your age is showing.
oh my god.
Yeah.
Put it back. Put it back. Zip it up, would you?
Hey, you know what?
Please.
That's probably how they sounded in real life. That's why they had to get substitutes.
What's good? What up? What up, Judah? You know what I'm saying, Sensei? And then what's up, Dragonheart, Yomi, Sleepy? Thank you guys. I'm sorry that we're late. Yomi! Anyway, so thank you guys for coming. Sorry about last week. Last week was really ridiculous because it was beyond my power. If you didn't hear what I had to say in a couple of videos that I dropped this week or on next podcast, I'll just explain it really briefly. Last week, I was prepping, getting ready for the show. And sometimes I prep late at night on Thursday, or I start prepping early in the morning on Friday if I have the time, if I don't have to be out and about. But it was a Friday. I was like, okay, I got time. Let's get it going. The lights went off. I'm like, what? I'm like, what's going on? It's not even hot outside or anything like that. It's not storming or thunder or anything like that. Anyway, that was like 8 something in the morning. Then we come and I look and I check outside, and the first thing, like, my neighbor has a automatic generator. It just, once the lights go out, that bastard just kicks right on. So I heard it. So I knew it wasn't something that just was within my own home. Anyway, so I looked and I go outside, and so my neighbor, she's an older lady, and she was asking what was going on. So check the at that time, the electric company didn't know what was going on. Long story short, there was some people out here that was doing some work in somebody's backyard, about 4 houses down, and they knocked down the electric pole. And so I guess they took the time to think about, well, not took the time. They must have thought that, like, okay, we made a mistake. Let's try to pull this pole back up. Well, how my neighborhood is that, like, the tornado came through here like 2-3 times and wiped out like over half of the neighborhood. And so there's older homes and there's newer homes. And so I'm like right in the middle. And so at this point in time, because tornadoes becoming really violent, so they're starting to put electrical lines underground, but they haven't finished doing the rest in the rest of the neighborhood. So it's one of those things where they were digging up the holes to try to put the pole back up, and they messed up more power lines. And so it was like the whole damn neighborhood that was blacked out. And so when the electric company finally came and we found out, they said it wasn't going to be cutting back on until like middle of the day. Well, come to find out that they came back like within, like, when turn that time, it was like, I think it was 12:55. They said it was going to be back. Well, 12:40 came, and then they posted, well, it ain't going to be up until 7-8 o'clock tonight. So I was like, oh, snap. So I just went left about. And then when the electric did get cut back on, it was like 7:45. Well, I'm sorry, like 7:30, 7:25. So I was just like, I know GRG. So that was, I said I was going to be short, but I guess that was pretty long. But regardless, that's what happened. So anyway, we're here. We're ready to do it. Like, no time for no intro. Let's get to it. Our guest, John, he was in here, but I don't know what happened, but hopefully he can come back in.
I'll tell you what happened right now.
What? What happened?
He said he couldn't unmute himself. So if you can join back up, K Mega will unmute you.
Yes.
He doesn't have the permission.
Oh, yeah, okay. So all right. Yeah. Join back up and I'll unmute you. Okay.
That was weird because he was unmuted last time he was with us without a problem, dude.
Yeah. So anyway, if you can come back in, I can do it because I got the power. Anyway,
yeah, get your ass back in here, dude.
Let's go. Ham Solo, what's happening with you? What's going on? How's everything been going?
Everything's been fantastic, actually. Just kind of chilling, doing my damn thing, playing these games. Was rocking with. Let's see. Was rocking with NBA 2K this week. Also started Final Fantasy VII Remake for the first time. Never played that before. Wasn't really into it when I was a kid, so now I'm trying it out on
PC or PlayStation.
On PlayStation.
Okay, I'm just checking.
And let's see. For the Xbox, tried out Deathloop. Game's pretty fun, but it's not exactly my cup of tea. It's just fun. Not something I'm dying to complete. Ni no Kuni was surprisingly pretty cool. I played that for a few hours.
Oh god.
Yeah,
John, you can unmute yourself now.
I don't know.
You can do it. We believe in you.
We believe in you.
You go down to the bottom of Discord. And
there he is.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes,
sir.
We hear
you.
Yeah,
whenever I was pressing to unmute, it said I don't have permission. So that was kind of weird, buddy.
Oh, yeah. No, what it was that I forgot to add you in as a person that could just come into the into our Discord, our GRG
we
Discord. Good now?
Yeah,
but we're good.
All
we're
right.
good. We got you.
Okay, now that he's here, you can put him back on mute.
Okay, sure thing. Anyway,
what's up, John?
We'll get to you here in a second, John. But go back, Ham Solo. You was talking about Noonie Cooney.
Oh God, no!
So go ahead.
Leave it alone. Let it go.
Yeah, that's what I call it. That's what I call it.
I mean, that's what K Mega calls it because he cannot pronounce words like a regular American.
I can.
He just can't. He really can't. So
I refuse to.
For him.
Say oregano.
Love it.
Oregano.
People love me saying Noonie Cooney.
I ain't gonna lie. Ever since you said it, I think like a week ago, every time I see it on the dashboard, I kind of say it to myself. So
thank you. Everybody does. That hits me up. Everybody says it. Even people that like I haven't talked to, associated with. Like when they seen that, I got hit up by so many people that I haven't seen or talked to in a minute, and they said, "Oh man, I know that," and they spelled it out like how I say it. So of course it's fun. It's beautiful.
That game right there.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Oh
that Soul Snake. I want that game, dude. Soul Dice, whatever they call it. All right,
but stop being rude, Sir X Man. Ham Solo said he was playing games. Let's finish. Listen, what else is he playing, man? Go ahead.
And I did get the chance to finish a game that Loke just apparently he's garbage at the game and just doesn't want to pursue it anymore. But the game is called Wolong.
I'm not garbage.
It's called Wolong.
I'm not garbage at Wolong. I am suing. I am suing.
Man, you've been like hanging around K-Mega way too long.
I'm manure at that game.
It's Wolong.
He said he is dog shit.
But
I'm with you. I'm with you there, brother. So I was expecting that to play more like Ninja Gaiden, and when I saw it was Souls-like, I was a little bit disappointed. I ain't gonna lie.
Thank you. See, there's someone with sense in the panel.
I ain't gonna lie.
Anyway,
that's different.
Have been trying to finish for the last 10 minutes, guys. Let him finish.
I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, that's what I've been playing. If that was the question.
Okay.
Every single game on the planet. How many games you playing, man? Jesus,
bro. I got a pretty good list too. But anyway, let's go. Let's go to
trying to get him a piece.
Well, I get plenty of pieces. Watch out. Anyway, John Wolf, welcome, brother. It's been a minute since you've been on, man. I'm glad to get you back on, man. So to get to pick your brain, see what's going on with these topics, what you got to say about it. But what games have you been playing? What have you been excited for? All of that. Let us know.
Yeah, man. I've been dabbling here and there. I was playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey today. Just trying to roam that world. That game is so expansive, and those Assassin's Creed games are no joke, brother. But other than that, okay, I've just been busy just with normal life stuff outside of video game stuff. and just prioritizing everything, trying to get the content creation going again little by little. I really, really appreciate your invite tonight to discuss these topics. And anytime anytime somebody from the community reaches out with an invite, I'm honored, and obviously it's a pleasure being here with everybody today.
Oh, excellent, man. I mean, you killed it each time that you've been here. I know that you're going to do the same. And you know what I'm saying, I've seen that you was on other people's podcasts, you know what I'm saying, Boom and everybody else, man. That's a beautiful thing, you know what I'm saying. If it starts here, hopefully it doesn't end here when it comes to just being all over the place, so people can recognize your voice, get to see your content, go support, go check this guy out, because his stuff is really, really legit, man. He's a really, really good dude. Matter of fact, everybody on the panel except for Sir X-Man is really talented at what they do. So
eat my shorts.
You know what, K Mega?
Yes.
You know what's dope about John Wolf?
What is that?
How authentically appreciative he always is with everybody.
Oh, yeah. He's very, very humble. I love it.
Oh,
I used to be very humble, but fuck it. I don't care.
It's one of those things, man. I give everybody that gets on behind these mics, man. I give you guys a lot of credit, guys and ladies, of course. A lot of credit to do this. It takes a lot of dedication, and I know firsthand. So I really admire that about everyone that does this. Whether I agree with their opinions or not is irrelevant. I really do admire, what everybody brings to the table, and it's a pleasure listening to everyone in the community every single week.
Yeah, no doubt about that, man. I mean, even though I disagree with a lot of people, because the people I mostly have the biggest issue with are the people that aren't content creators. I know there's a couple out there that's
me.
That's left. But no, stop it. But for the most part, everybody out there that does this stuff, man. I mean, and once you start getting into it and understanding what it takes, it is not easy. And it takes it takes time from your family, it takes time from your other curricular activities. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you work, do other things. It is a second job, but the thing of it is that most of us don't get paid like it's a second job. So it's just so you got to do it out of dedication and love. So it's a beautiful thing. But man, thank you, John Wolf, man, appreciate it. But let's go on to the next man. You know what I'm saying? He's been here. You know what I'm saying? He's still a guest. Well, pretty much he's, you know what I'm saying? Not so much. Hell. He's been here more often to where he's just a friend of the GRG family, man. So it's glad to be here. I love it that the man shows the dedication to come here at these wild times in his time zone, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm humbled about
that. It's 3 a.m. It's right after I do my satanic ritual. Right after I do my satanic ritual, I jump on the GRG podcast.
Bro, that would make a lot of sense. Bro. That's why I've lost in the quizzes. But you know what? There won't be no quiz tonight. But when you come back and when you get the quiz ready,
you're not scared,
I know. I'm going to pour holy water on a couple of things and spread it around. I'm going to be ready
because he's getting tossed up by his panel.
No, what are you talking about? Bro, I'm always down for the quiz. Anyway,
that's low.
Loke said he couldn't do it because Loke said he couldn't do it this week. I didn't recommend that he didn't do it. Every time he comes on, I want him to do it. But
I'm sure he could scramble some stuff together if he really wanted.
Okay, I'm sure when he broke that UCU, you wiped the sweat off your brow. You're like, woo, got a week off, baby.
See, watch your mouth, John. See, you was humble and wonderful, and now you turned into the dick like the rest of them. Anyway.
Yeah. His towel stay in the dryer. He loves that heat over his face.
John my God.
John is authentic and aware.
I'm authentic, but I'll throw my joke here and there.
Everyone knows. For anyone that isn't following the story, K Mega is on a 3-quiz losing streak.
Oh my God!
You know what I'm saying, y'all? He lost to me.
Damn, they K Mega.
K Mega. You know what I'm gonna do next week? Next week Friday is the 30th. So what I'm gonna do, right?
Okay.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a quiz, and I'm gonna start doing it on Monday. I'm gonna start preparing it. Okay. I'm going to pull from the entire month's news. Ooh. Like the whole month.
Oh, I'm gonna kill it.
I I heard K Mega's trying to tie that Undertaker record, that WrestleMania record, but the other way, where he
man, what's going on here? See, when people get too comfortable,
you got to throw a little bit of retro in there.
Just a little shade, just a little shade.
I got it. It's all right.
Him up, man.
It's all right.
I'll do that.
It's all right.
I'll
accept it. So when I win, though, see, this is the thing. When I will win, I will. You know that the assault and it's going to be massive. Like it's going to be the red wedding when I win. So get ready.
Who are you going to assault?
I'm going to assault everyone on this panel talking shit. Anyway,
hey, K Mega, please, yes, K Mega.
Stop the cap.
Oh my God! Anyway, all right. So let's go on.
Weapon.
He did. He brought his
weapon.
He did. I got mine. I got plenty more. I got plenty bullets in my voice box. Little voice box thing. So it's all right.
Got a voice box battle going on tonight.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Just so I don't take over the whole show. I've been playing. I tried Wolong, just like Ham said before, and it didn't stick for me.
Oh my God!
Not hating on anyone that's enjoying it. Go ahead, have a blast.
Mm-hmm. Hope you enjoyed it, K Mega.
I was grinding Yakuza 5 before I do the story, because that's what I do. I overlevel all my characters
right at
the beginning of the game, and then I just breeze through. So for some reason, actually I know, there's international matches being played for football, the real football.
Soccer.
And
thank you.
I just decided to dabble in Football Manager. And I haven't been able to play anything else since Tuesday. Tuesday. Like right now, as we speak, I'm playing Football Manager. And when I get on the plane, I'm still gonna be playing Football Manager.
Okay.
So
all right. Excellent.
Yeah.
I'm kind of with Ham on there. You mean Soccer Manager, but that's fine.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
Soccer Manager.
Come on in. Come on until you get.
I'm not about to argue with the psychos in the insane asylum. It's full of Americans here.
I'm just saying.
I know how to read the room, bruv. Don't worry.
I was going to say, until you get.
If you knew how to read the room, you wouldn't have said football.
Well, you know what I'm saying? You got to fight a chance.
I'm not going to be ignorant on purpose. What I'm not going to do is argue. Okay. But I'm not going to be ignorant on purpose. I'm not going to do that.
Oh, my goodness. All right, man. So, Sir X-Man, what's going on with you? I shouldn't have to ask you what you've been playing because I'm pretty sure you haven't been playing anything. But, you know what I'm saying? We have to know if you have been, and that would be rude of me as a person who is a panel member of GRG. You know what I'm saying? We got to know if you played anything. So how have you been? What have you been playing?
Crude, bro.
What are you talking about, man? How was I being rude? I said you was a panel member. You don't even get that on the other podcast.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so
next podcast. But nah, I'm still. Whenever I get a chance, I'm still enjoying. Oh my God, Grid Legends. I'm still enjoying that game, dude. It's like
I need to get to that, man.
Man, that game is I can't put it down when I get a chance to play. And all day I was binge watching season 5 of Cobra Kai.
That's not a game. That's TV.
Well, you said what I've been doing. You didn't say what I've been playing.
Okay. That is right. That's fair.
You know, so I've actually found some time to just relax and just watch something that I've been wanting to watch for a minute. Didn't know it was there. You know, back up. So I watched it and enjoyed myself and relaxed today. That's all.
Excellent. Okay, as for me, and I'll be quick about it because we want to get into these topics. We got quite a few tonight. I was as you see the gameplay. I started playing Deathloop. Very raw. You know what I'm saying? When you seeing this raw gameplay, just trying to figure out what's going on. And if you've played the game, you know that I'm right in the beginning. So just trying to just trying to understand the controls, all that other stuff. But I think that this game has a lot of potential. At first, when I first seen the game trailer, and I've seen people stream it, like I watched Addict play it. I'm like, I don't think this is going to be up my alley. But it's all, when you play the game and you get experience, you like the voice acting, the characters themselves seems really fun because the main character that you're playing with doesn't seem like he's as goofy as he really is. And that's kind of funny to me. So I like the character so far. And I mean, trying to figure it out, but I think that the game has potential. I haven't played enough to know. Solstice, man, I've gotten about 3.5 hours of that. I got some more content that should be showed, but I had to went back to just show it because I'm way further than that. But I definitely recommend that game. That game is fantastic. In my opinion, I mean, for an indie title, it looks really good. And it plays like Devil May Cry as a true old school hack and slash. It's got a lot of potential, I think, other than just, because I haven't beat it yet, but I think that game is dope as hell. Also been playing a lot of NBA 2K, 23. I'm all in. They got me. I've spent so much money. I bought the $150 version and I'm still spending money on VC. I got to get man, I'm all about the drip, man. Ever since I have to say, Nakara, I've been in a position to where I want my Naraka. No, stop it. I said it right. Stop it. I said it right.
You said Nakara. What's Nakara?
Is it not Nakara? Okay, whatever the case may be. I said it right at the beginning.
You do have a problem pronouncing Japanese names.
I do. I really do. I mean, I'm country. I mean, that's what it is. I'm dyslexic, so it's very difficult for me for certain, especially for names. I'm bad with names. Oh, okay. No, you can make fun. I make fun of myself all the time about it. That's why I say let me be country. But regardless of it, it is what it is. So, the drip aspect of it, I love, like, my characters having good drip. And in NBA 2K, man, that the clothing stores, man, I give VC instead of building up attributes. I'm buying Jordan shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm buying this, I'm buying that. So I got to be clean. Every time I get on the court, I got to be clean. So, you know what I'm saying? Xbot and dealer was over here looking at me crazy because I changed outfit like 3 or 4 times.
Jumpers.
No, you know what? My shot is getting wetter as we speak. You know what I'm saying? I'm more even keeled. I play damn good defense. So I mean, I've just got to learn. I haven't really been doing the park stuff like that ever. So me trying to learn, getting ahead, beating it, but we have starting to win more often now. So I think we got 3 or 4 wins. You know what I'm saying, overall, and I feel pretty good about that. And then one win was a blowout. So we're learning. How
are those Jordan challenges? Because I remember that there was a NBA 2K game for the 3.
Thank you, Kiri. Sorry.
There you go. How those Jordan challenges though? Because I remember that there's a 2K that came out for 360 that I was obsessed replaying those Jordan moments.
I have not played them yet. Xbot 448 has been playing them. He says it's fantastic. I've seen some other people play them. They look amazing. You do get something for that, but right now I just want to get my skills right with my player. I'm almost done with that story mode. Shep is just about ready to get this work. So I'm ready to get that done, and then I'm finna go to my player, and in between then I'm finna do my team. That's the next thing I'm finna do, and then I'm gonna do the Jordan thing in between that. So I will let you know once I do that. So but I'm really enjoying that. So this is gonna be one of the reasons why I'm gonna do sports night. And I'll tell you this, hey, if anybody gets FIFA, and if they want to come and play me in some FIFA, I will buy FIFA and play FIFA. Don't get it twisted. I know how to play soccer, football, whatever you want to call it. I know how to play that game. I had a homeboy that I played with all the time. If you call it
soccer again, I'm getting out the cat. All right.
Said the gat. Anyway, so that Noonie Cooney, I've been playing a little bit of that. And yes, Wulong, I'm very, very excited about it. It is damn hard, but it's very satisfying when you beat the enemies. It makes me feel makes me feel like I'm playing Elden Ring in a sense. And when you're playing co-op with somebody, oh my God, like you really can rip through some stuff. It was crazy because we got to the very last boss, and we were beating his ass, and then he transformed, and then we lost. I went back. I was playing it by myself. I almost got him again. So I know that I got the potential to beat him by myself, but I would recommend if you can go op, get some co-op, do all that. I don't know what the max is, but I was level 20 when I played them, and now I'm like a level 17. So if anybody want to do the co-op with me, come on and let's do that. I really enjoy it. I think that the counter system is very, very complex. I got to get that together. But other than that, like, I love the combat. I love everything else about it. It plays like Neo, except just a little bit differently. But that's what it reminds me of most of all. So other than that, that's the stuff that I've been playing. Let's keep it moving. Let's get with the first topic. Okay, so the leaks. Okay, we just heard about the leaks with Grand Theft Auto 6. There was some more stories going out about other leakers. There was this, like, I guess this Twitch content creator or whatever. He leaked out all types of stuff of Assassin's Creed before it even came out. The people gave him the information early, and he leaked that out. So he's in big trouble with Ubisoft. He made an apology, said that he was, he was all hyped, the buzz, and he just wanted the clout. And, I'm saying it was just all about that. And so he apologized. It was really dumb, all of that. So pretty much Ubisoft told him, you better make an apology and say that you're dumb as hell. And we might consider leaving you on as giving you content, but whatever. Now, this other person, I'll get to it. But this other person, he or she, I believe it's a man, a young kid, allegedly, I believe. I don't know if that's been that's the actual person who's done the stuff, done the leaks of Grand Theft Auto 6. I mean, they showed a picture of it and everything like that, but I've heard, like, last night people were saying that story wasn't true. I have no idea who did it or how they did it or whatever. But the point of that's caused a whole bunch of issues that I had no idea would maybe even having the game be canceled because of all of the stuff that person shown. And then, of course, all the other leaks that we've seen. And then I think that there was another person that leaked out stuff. He was a leaker. He had a sock account, but he made a oopsie and was replying back to somebody with his real account. Then he got busted. So let me go to John on this one first. Is this a situation that hurts the industry? Because, I mean, there was so many people going crazy about the Grand Theft Auto 6 leak. And, all these other leaks. I mean, we can even take it even as far as the Last of Us 2, those leaks. Right. Yeah. Like, is this something that hurts the game industry overall, or is it really the industry themselves just want to keep things hidden and it's not really that big of a deal? What is your thought?
Yeah, I think that, it's a tug and war, right? It's a give and take here, because obviously I think everybody in this panel has kind of grown up on video games, and back in the day before social media and YouTube and all that stuff and Twitter, we were always surprised that whenever they would make announcements, because we had no idea things were coming, and everything felt like, a big surprise. They always had a surprise for all the fans and all that good stuff, because it was so well hidden and tight-lipped. We live now in a world where obviously there's so much social media, so much content creators and stuff like that it's very hard for these companies to try to keep things in under wraps. And for the most part, I think they do the best that they can. But obviously, when you have these individuals that are willing, like, to clear it up a little bit, from what I understand from the GTA 6 leaks, it's a 17-year-old kid, basically, from the UK. He hacked Rockstar. It looks like there were some phishing emails he may have sent, and he was able to actually get on one of the developers actually and download all the tools, all the assets that's been going out there. But the biggest concern for Rockstar, and the reason that you brought up that now there was rumors that they may potentially even have to cancel the game or delay the game, is because he had access to the source code and he was willing to put that out there, and he was kind of holding Rockstar for ransom there. So that's the danger in these things, when you have these individuals that are looking to do malicious things. That's like worst case scenario. I think what just happened with GTA 6. But then you also have other instances like you mentioned with Last of Us, right? With the Last of Us 2 leaks and the story leaking, and I think that even Halo Infinite was a victim of it. So
they were.
you know, yeah. So these individuals that are out here that obtain this information, obviously they want their 5 minutes of fame. They're going to put it out there, and you know they're going to become they're going to be famous for a little bit for leaking this stuff. And I think it goes back to there just needs to be a balance, right? Like these companies need to understand that the gamers are so passionate about, like, we're all so passionate about this industry that we want to know anything and everything that we can, you know, and as soon as possible. And obviously in in a perfect world we will all be patient and we will give these companies the respect and you know, and the time to announce things when they're ready and all that good stuff. But you know, it's not to justify anything. To answer your question directly, I think it really does hurt the gaming industry and these businesses because they're not allowed to roll things out as they would like, and it kind of softens the blow. It kind of ruins the surprise for everybody else, you know. Like a recent example I can remember is in Jeff Keighley's show during the summer. I think that and I think it was Sony that did it by mistake. They leaked the Last of Us remake, and that was supposed to be his big announcement. That was supposed to be what he closed the show with. So it does hurt the industry, Kay, to answer your question directly. But at the same time, I think that these, you know, publishers, they need to get better with having just an open line of communication and just at least, obviously we're not asking play by play, day to day stuff. But if you know that you're working on GTA 6, you know, so that people aren't so rampant and so thirsty for news and wanting to find stuff out, I think that they should do a better job of being open with the fan base and saying, hey, we're currently halfway, a quarter way through development, you know, just stuff like that, just to be a little bit more open. I think that they're just it's too kept under wraps. I think they could do better there, but still no excuse for these leakers, brother. That's the truth too.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Great point. Great point. Let's hit up, you know what I'm saying? Thank you for the super chat. DJ Berto Das. He said, did somebody say FIFA, the real football? Wow. So
Nice.
you got somebody on your team, Lo. You got somebody on your team. So regardless, yes.
Yeah, I'm not sure is he American.
I don't know. DJ Berto, let us know if you're American or not. I don't know. But regardless, I mean, there's people in America, like, I mean, especially like in the West Coast, in certain parts of I guess the Northwest, they're you know, they call it football as well. Like, I mean, you know, it's kind of crazy. So it's according to where
you said it with a tone of disdain.
A little bit, but regardless, you know what I'm saying? I mean, you know,
literally crazy.
Yeah, you know, it is a little the same. But anyway, thank you so much. Hey, the super chat works. Really do appreciate for anybody want to show support. But let's go ahead and keep it moving. Let's go to you on this one. Ham Solo, what do you think, man? Do you agree with John Wolf, or do you have a different take on this?
I kind of feel like I've seen the leaks like many others. I mean, I thought it was fairly interesting to see, but the amount of stuff that was leaked was so much that I was just like, I was almost overwhelmed, and I just kind of like peeked and then just kind of went away and was like, I don't want to be spoiled. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like this was, you know, a few seconds of fame that's not going to amount to anything for, you know, anybody at all. As for it like hurting the industry, I don't know if I'd go as far as to say it's like hurting the industry. I feel like maybe, you know, I like what John Wolf said about like being more open and honest so people don't feel so, you know, pent up with needing to figure out certain information and whatnot. But at the same time, you give, you know, you give in and give them a little bit, then they're asking for more. You know what I mean? So like, how do you even win that battle? People are always going to ask for more than, you know, what they probably deserve, even if you're giving them a lot. Yeah, I mean, the obviously the biggest piece of this is like the source code part, as John explained. As for like people seeing the game, I don't think it's like that big of a deal, because I mean everyone kind of has a general idea of what GTA is. This is not like it's a brand new IP that's ever hit and they're trying to keep it under wraps. This is kind of like everybody has kind of been fiending, kind of like Halo, as you said earlier. You know, Halo, The Last of Us 2. You know, I mean these things seem to happen a lot to these second editions or third editions of games and stuff like that, where like I don't know, it just ends up being kind of bad. My personal opinion, like I said, I don't think it's going to hamper anything too much. I think they're pretty honest with what they said, and it not like stopping anything, because I mean from what I recognized is like they're in, I mean that build that we were looking at was an older build, so that's like not even exactly what we're gonna get at all. So I'm not too worried about it. The only thing I'm kind of like maybe worried about is just that source code. Everything else,
Not a
whatever.
big deal.
Well, to me, it's just like I feel like people are responsible enough. If they really like enjoy video games and they want to enjoy an experience, if you don't want to see something, you will ignore it. And
Yeah.
I looked at it for a second and I was like, you know what? I've seen a couple things and I'm good. Like, I don't need to try to figure out this game and then turn around and tell everybody what I see. And I'm just like, okay, that's there. I mean, I already knew it was in the making. Like I said, not a new IP. I wasn't like blown away.
Okay. All right. And shout out to Dark Optimus, man. Always cutting up, man. You know what I'm saying? Look, I'm glad I cut you deep because you know what? I mean, GRG has been on the brink a couple of times, but we still going strong, baby. We still going strong. Shout out to Dark Optimus, man.
Shout out to him for actually subbing to my channel TSWS earlier. That was pretty dope. He shot us out earlier.
You know what?
That was pretty dope.
This is what's sad about this, right? You know what I'm saying? Because he is a PlayStation stan. You know what I'm saying? But he's one of the PlayStation stands that I won't call him a stand, a PlayStation gamer that is level-headed. You know, I mean, he's a PlayStation guy through and through. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, but I respect his opinion, honestly. You know what I'm saying?
Dark will tell you when PlayStation is fucking up.
He will give you he's real about what everything. But you know what? What's sad is that look, Ham, you've been on GRG here for I don't know how many months now. And the only reason why he subbed you is because you had Jabari on your show. That right there shows you that he is a diehard stan. Anyway,
don't be talking shit, K-Mega. Don't be talking shit.
Hey, man, whatever. Hey, whatever drives that count up.
Oh my God!
Complaining.
Oh man!
Is that crazy? Is that crazy? Hey, driving up.
No.
If you driving it up, I appreciate you. Thank you.
Oh my God!
Let you out the funny farm, man.
I should have never gave a PlayStation dude access to GRG ever.
I know, man.
Anyway,
The biggest mistake in your life right now.
Oh my God! What's up, Dark? How you doing, brother? What's up? What's up, man?
Good,
yeah. Now I take everything back that I said nice about you. Go to hell. Anyway, all right.
Nah, you better play a song real quick, bro.
I want to. Oh, you know what? I do need to play his song. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, I got to go find it. But let me go to Loke on this one, and then Loke, what is your thought process on this? I mean, do you agree, or you have a different take on this? Okay, so it don't. Yes. Okay, all right. Why it doesn't?
Everyone's been pretty middle ground. This does not affect the industry at all.
Okay,
like negatively. At the very least, it affects the industry positively because things have changed, guys. Mm-hmm. We now live in a 24-hour cycle for everything. There's no more basketball season. There's no more football season. Everything is happening all the time, 24 hours. It doesn't stop. So this, I hate to say it, is just content. So the industry is fine. If this happens to every AAA game every year, this will not affect the industry.
Look, but let me push back a little bit on you though. Because there were reports, and obviously I can't confirm this because I'm not in Sony's bank account, but there were reports that Last of Us 2 sold worse because of the leaks.
Oh yeah, because of the story.
Not the industry. The question was about the industry. Last of Us 2 is not even a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of the video game industry. We're talking about the industry. So even if The Last of Us sold 2 copies, it wasn't even going to register on the blip of what the video game industry is as a whole.
Gotcha.
So as far as industries,
Damn, K-Meg, I'm looking at the stream and you walking right into them turning things.
You look at the stream, but you see me putting in that work. I'm putting in work.
You walking right into the pole.
Yeah, you see I walk into the pole, but do you see that, you know what I'm saying, the combo? That's what you need to be looking at. Anyway. Oh, man. Shout out to Rod.
The only game that K-Meg is good at is Madden. So, you know.
Oh, my God. The disrespect. Anyway, Loke must have, because Loke is traveling and while he's doing the podcast. And so, Loke, can you talk? Can you say, well, I know you can talk, but say something so we see if we can hear you, because we can't.
He's having a hard time.
Oh, yeah. You going through cell phone hell, brother. You know what I'm saying? So give yourself a minute because we can't hear you. No, we can't hear you. You're breaking up. I mean, we can hear you, but you're breaking up badly. So just give us a second. So anyway, let's go to you, Dark. Let me hear what you got to say.
Hey, what about me? I thought I was next. What the man?
I'm saving the best for last. That's
the best. He is the best, man.
He is the best. See, look how I smooth that over. I smooth that over. Look at that. It's cool. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Dark. So what do you think about the leak situation?
I'll send you flowers next week. All right.
Thank you. Anyway, so Dark, what do you think?
Oh, Dark's gone.
What? Oh my God! What's happening with y'all's internet? That California internet. Oh my God! Anyway, all right. Well, sir, X-Men, I guess you're up. Okay, no, Dark, you okay? Can you say something now?
Dark backed out. Now you back in. Let's see if we got him.
Okay.
Now I can hear you guys.
Okay.
You almost lost your turn at the roulette table, buddy. You better stop that.
You did. But I was just about to let loose. Anyway,
X-Man, when you finish, can I jump back in?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Go for it,
okay.
buddy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you good, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, let him go.
Yeah, go ahead, Lo. Go ahead.
Fuck Dark.
All right.
Wow.
What the hell is going on right now?
I don't know, man.
He left. I think that 17-year-old hacker, maybe he wasn't arrested after all.
Maybe he wasn't. Oh no, he's going to be working for the government. So regardless, that's what's happening.
That's
so
true.
You got all these Americans here that are trying to tell you that American is the real football.
Oh, and here comes Mr. Messi. Here comes Mr. Messi, the adult dating site.
I was saying for Take Two, this is a problem.
Okay.
This is a real problem because the source code the source code will affect cheats for the online. And if we've learned anything since 2012, is that when GTA 5 came out? If we've learned
12, 13.
Yeah, if we've learned anything in the last 9-10 years, is that the priority for Take-Two, as far as GTA is concerned, is monetizing GTA Online. So if there's anything that threatens that, it's all-out war. There's a reason the freaking FBI and all these guys on speed dial for Rockstar. It's billions of dollars, yo. It is literally billions. It's not even a hyperbole at this point. So I'm of the mind that there's a very good chance that we do get like proper delays or maybe even cancellations for GTA 6. Not because of all this stuff with the campaign and the dual protagonists and all that other crap. Bottom line is the bottom line. If their money is being threatened, everything's fair game. So get ready for GTA 6 to come out in 2035.
Oh wow.
Man,
This man
I'll be
said
almost.
2035.
Hey, I'll be
Okay.
retired by then. That'll work. I got time
Wow.
to play some shit.
Wow. Okay.
He'll be
You
in the
might
nursing home by that point.
Mhm.
All right. Well, okay. So, Dark, you want to go last and let Sir X Man go? Yeah. Let's
Nah,
go.
let Dark
Yeah,
go
let-
first.
Yeah,
Let Dark go. Let Dark go. I was just fucking with you. I like
Oh,
Dark.
okay.
Man. That's my friend. Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
Asshole.
Wow. All right. So go ahead,
I
Dark.
was
What do you think
calling
about
Dark
the
an
leaks?
asshole.
Now, what was that question?
What do you think about
before you were rudely interrupted?
I know,
old
right?
man?
I know, right? The leaks. I mean, does this hurt the industry? Because I mean, there's been people that's come out and says that this harms, like, I mean, because there's so much money involved into these games, and it's usually the bigger games. It's not the smaller titles that's getting affected like this. It's the bigger title that a lot of money is being invested into. So, and they're saying that this is hurting the industry. You know what I'm saying? Some people saying overall. Loke, he works for IGN. He says it doesn't hurt it at all. What do you think?
Here's the thing, okay? It's not going to hurt GTA and it's not going to hurt Rockstar.
Okay.
It might have hurt. I'm going to say this, and this is probably the first and last time you're ever going to hear a PlayStation fan say this. But this, because of the leaks of The Last of Us 2, the sales did go down. Well, that was their own damn fault for putting in some bullshit that people didn't want. That was them. That was on them. So, you know, I don't
Man, that
think
was a
this
hot take right
GTA.
there.
I don't think this GTA thing is even gonna make a dent in Take-Two or anything like that. I don't think this is gonna even make them. They might go back to not to the drawing board, but they might go back and be like, well, you know what, here's a few things that we're going to change. Is it, because you got to remember that these leaks were very early development. You can tell that they were very early development. So I mean, there's probably a lot of things that have changed. I mean, Take-Two really hasn't really responded to it. They've kind of been like kind of quiet in a way. They've kind of, just let people
What I tell you yesterday
think what they want to think.
Hey, Mega. Mm-hmm.
Hey, yo, Dark.
Preach, Dark.
What's up?
Preach, Dark.
Dark.
What's up?
If in my, and I said this on my show earlier, I said if anything, I feel like this might have brought more hype to it.
Right, exactly, and that's the biggest thing is that it's brought more people to be like, oh shit, this is GTA 6. Let's see, I want to see more. Like if anything, this has made people want to play the game. I mean, yeah, there are those ones that are, and I'm gonna say it, completely stupid and think that this is the finished product, and it's not. And when I saw the leaks, I was like, "Oh shit, this makes me want to play it." I was like, "Shoot, this looks good."
And Dark, to piggyback a little bit, you could tell that the rest of the industry, since we're talking about the industry as a whole, kind of came together and kind of had Rockstar's back, because you had developers showing early builds of their game, saying, "Hey, for all you people that don't have a brain, that can't comprehend that this is development, here's what our game looked like." At the early stage. So it's kind of something that I guess unanimously the industry came together and said, hey, Rockstar, we got your back because, some 17-year-old jerk decided to do something illegal.
Right, exactly. And that's the thing, like, this whole situation, it's like the Take-Two hasn't come out and said anything. I'm sure they're probably like, oh, okay, like I'm sure they're gonna handle it. They're gonna handle it, and the law is gonna handle it. But I don't think that this kid was. I think this kid was coerced. To be honest, I think somebody's behind the scenes, pulling the strings, doing something. There's a bigger person here. I think. I don't know if maybe he's part of a group that kind of coerced him into doing it, or maybe he's just that good, at hacking. I mean, honestly, like it's not like their security probably wasn't that great in the first place. So this is just gonna make them double their security on their on their uh, their software and their system and stuff. So
I investigate this on a daily basis, brother. All it takes is an employee to click on a phishing email. That's all it takes.
yeah, see, there you go. The security just wasn't there. And that happens. I mean, this stuff is going to happen. I mean, this stuff is going to continuously happen because people want to see these games and they want to play these games. And you got to remember that, the big games that are getting leaked like that, of course, like you don't see things like, like I was surprised. There was one game I was surprised that didn't get leaked before it came out, and that was Halo. I was surprised that Halo Infinite didn't come out, but that was because I think we've seen a lot of footage from that.
Maybe Halo should have leaked some shit out of the game.
I mean, I don't know if it would have changed anything. I think it just would have made people be like, oh, okay, um, it's just I just think that the industry is not gonna be affected by it. I don't think I don't think really anybody's gonna be like, oh my, I think the only thing I think of is that people are probably gonna take more precaution in having their employees not,
Oh yeah, there was cybersecurity awareness training all week. I guarantee.
Right, exactly.
Oh yeah.
So there's going to be more precautions now. There's going to be more of that. So I don't think there's going to be a problem going forward.
Okay, what's the name of this game you're playing right here, man?
Soltis. This is Soltis.
Yeah, I'm about to get that game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
I saw the trailers for it this week, man, and I was like, I gotta add it.
It's a indie
like
title,
Souls, right?
No, it's like a Devil May Cry.
No, I
Is
love
it like
it.
more like
It's
Devil
like
May
a
Cry?
Yeah, it plays like Devil May Cry. Yeah. Yeah, like, and I mean, I'm like, I restarted it from where I was just to show some gameplay. So I mean, the attacks are limited, but you could definitely see like when I flip them up in the air and I could do combos and stuff like that. Because there's other stuff that you can buy and do like stuff.
Way more like
it's like how an old God of War used to be. It looks like how an old God of War used to be.
Well, the art style to me looks more like Berserk. I mean, you got the character.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, it looks like that I could definitely rock with that. That does make sense.
I'm feeling original God of War though when I'm watching. That's just me.
I mean, well, either way, I mean, it's a hack and slash, so it's a traditional hack and slash. It's not a Souls type game like what's the other game that just came out? That's an indie. No, it's what is it? It's got to start with a T. It just came out. The indie title.
Long stuff.
Tamira, something like that. It starts with a T. Tabira, something kind of crazy name. Anyway, but I got that game. But yeah, that's more of a Souls. Yeah, that's it right there. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. However you pronounce it. But anyway, but that's not like this. This is definitely old traditional hack and slash.
Okay.
Anyway, but yeah, okay. Sir X-Man, your thoughts on this?
All right. First thing is, everyone in the chat, we love you and we're glad you're here. But hit that like and share this shit out. Let's get these views up. If you love the show, hit them shares, baby. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. I don't really care about the hack thing, but I had 2 points about this that I want to bring up. There have been leaks in video games since around the 90s as technology has gotten there. There's always been leaks about games. And it's okay to leak. That's fine. But the source code thing, that is a bad thing because people can manipulate source code. That's why they have to probably go back and redo some of it and change some of the source code so no one can manipulate. But game leaks have been there pretty much forever since the 90s and publications on games. It's just that things are at an advanced level now. Yeah, I'm sorry. I had to go to the old timer style to explain the situation.
Well, no, I mean, what you're saying is true. I mean, there's always been leaks. I mean, there's leaks for everything, but
right. But things have gotten to a whole different level here. Look what happened
because
to Capcom and the leak information about games coming out that nobody knew about.
And that leak is 100% been factual so far. So
everything, video, right?
Yeah, that Nvidia leak. Yeah, so far everything has been accurate for what's been coming out. So
Power Stones in 2024, baby. Yes, sir.
I'm hyped for it. I'm hyped for it.
Oh,
I'm hyped for it.
Day one buy.
Oh my God, yes. Whatever the edition that they have, I'm getting. Well, their biggest edition.
My number two. When have you ever not seen a Grand Theft Auto before the newer games are getting ready, the new versions of it are getting ready to come out? Well, there's never been any controversy. There has always been a controversy before any Grand Theft Auto has ever come out. And my thing is, I told K Mega this yesterday on the podcast. I think this is a rigged thing from them to get more hype for their games. Because every time a Grand Theft Auto, it's more controversy, more people buy their game when it comes out on release. That's just my opinion. I might not be right, but it feels like one of those situations because you're not hearing any major blow-ups from developers. They might have thrown out a little something, say we don't like it and it wasn't cool, but you don't see no major blow-up from them or 2K. So that's just my opinion. Grand Theft Auto without a pre-launch controversy would not be a Grand Theft Auto. That's it. To the point. I'm done.
Okay. All right. Well, I mean, look,
that's what I love about Sir X-Men, man. He's just like, to the point. I'm done.
But I mean, okay. So I'm only going to give a little pushback on that, just because of the reason that Grand Theft Auto doesn't need any more publicity. It's going to rake. So regardless, so I don't think that this was something that was plotted. I mean, this is not like Grand Theft. Now, I would have totally agree with you if, let's say, Grand Theft Auto 5 was looked upon like Grand Theft Auto 4, because there was a lot of people who didn't like Grand Theft Auto 4. Shout out to our girl D. Talk to her.
She had controversy before.
She's still part of GRG. I was talking to her today. She just said everything else is coming, but she will still be coming on. Not every week, but when she can. So
Rob said the same thing. She'll come back when D come back. That's what she told me.
Oh my God, that would make sense. But anyway, it would make sense. But anyway, but we love our ladies, man. We love the ladies on GRG. Always have, always will be.
Awesome. Okay, Mega, to your point, real quick. When have you ever known a Grand Theft Auto before the game even comes out to not have a controversy?
I don't know, man. I mean, like Grand Theft Auto 5 is set the tone, though.
And also, the controversies are usually centered around what is being depicted in game.
Right. That's it.
Maybe they realize they can't do something. Hey, look, maybe they realize, okay, we've been getting away with that for a little while. Let's try a different way of doing it. It happens, just like the times have changed. Maybe their times, their way of scheming has changed.
I'm not agreeing with that one either, though.
Yeah. For me, I think all they have to do is just confirm GTA 6 had the protagonist is a straight white male. Oh, the entire planet would erupt. Why?
They made him Italian one time.
Yeah, 4.
I think that.
See, I don't think that these leaks are in that corner, Sir X-Man.
Right.
Because
that's what I'm agreeing.
Because of the fact that we've seen so much controversy already surrounding it, with it being a Latina female. Like,
I didn't see it, but I heard she had a badonka.
Thick Latina.
I live down here. in Miami. They needed to represent. So, and they did.
Yes.
Boy.
So that's the thing. Like,
is it really Miami? Are they real?
There's
no implants.
You know. No,
You know,
there's a lot of
there's a lot of people out there that are upset that it's a female character and then that she's gonna be Latina instead of a white
What's wrong
male
with
or
that?
some shit. You know,
There's nothing wrong with that.
there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it at all. And I think it's completely fucking stupid that people are upset about that. It's so dumb. It's fucking stupid. It's
no,
like,
right.
okay.
I mean, and the Latino community definitely needs more representation in video games. And I mean, besides that,
for sure.
I mean, just because if you look at that character model, we need more of that because of. Anyway, no, let me stop that.
But
anyway, but no, I mean. But I was like, damn, hold on, is this the actual body size that they go? That's what I'm talking about. Get it, Six. Get it. Lord have mercy.
I did the meme where you rub your hands together and you're like, yeah.
Yes.
And then I was like, all right, that's gonna be good.
Yes.
Man, I can see a lot of pause games on that.
Bro, there are
people
people already doing drawings of that character already. Like, I mean, Curie would let you know already, like, you know, because she's all into that stuff. Like, and they're already showing pictures of her all over the place. Like, I'm like, damn. And her character model wasn't even fully developed. But I'm seeing already people.
You think Lord Cross in trouble?
Hell yeah, boy, with that, with the hips on that, boy, it was boy.
Man.
And I love him thick like that, boy.
The modding community, is gonna go crazy.
Oh man, they're gonna lose their mind.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be wild, man. That is gonna be.
There's a Reddit.
So you know,
Reddit. So you know, just worshiping her.
So you know that if they're gonna do this, just imagine how they're gonna build the next DOA female characters. If they're gonna get away with this, there's gonna be some serious badonky donk in DOA. It ain't just gonna be boobies bouncing.
Well, stop it. No, see, you so nasty.
I know,
so
he's
damn nasty. Why what DOA got to do with the body shape of the character in Grand Theft Auto 6? Not even the same game.
I'm giving you a comparison because DOA was the original one that started a lot of this.
Hey, Sir X, man, we all know that we all know that your favorite game is BMX Triple X, brother. Just come on.
I didn't like that. I didn't like that game. But DOA.
There we go.
Oh man.
Okay, stop. No, Sir X, man.
Remember the sliders?
Come on. All right, let's reel it back in. We're still on the first topic. We got to move on. But I do. We got to move on. But but I do want to appreciate the character model just for a hot second. Good job. You know what I'm saying? Yes, we got to represent Latino brothers and sisters out there. Got to represent them. Do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Because I enjoyed it. Thank you. Take two.
Emeka, I'm sorry. Before you move on.
Yes, sir.
Anyone remember Katarina from San Andreas?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, just saying, man, that's when I fell in love with toxic chicks. I was like, damn, I need to get anyway,
hey, no lie. I'm going to say this right here. One of the reasons why, and I thought the game was not bad at all, but one of the reasons why I played Resident Evil 5 so much, because Old Girl was nice. I thought Old Girl was nice.
You're talking about
Shiva. Shiva was nice, Jack. I'm like, man, I'm protecting Shiva at all costs, Jack. You are, boy. You know what I'm saying? But anyway,
when people start talking about, gamers don't like chicks in games.
Come on, man.
Someone just
we love you. We love you.
Someone just cut the last 5 minutes of this podcast and paste it onto whatever discussion people are having about gamers.
One thing we all guys do, we love it when you do flips in video games.
Stop it, Sir X, man, because see, this is the danger zone, because when Sir X Man he starts, when he feels that everybody starts getting a little loose with it, he got to take it even further, and that's why I'm trying to reel him in, because he wants to go there. But
I've heard some of your soundbox things, dude. That's worse than what I could.
But do they get played? Do they get played anyway on podcast? No, they don't.
I think that the juice is loose.
Yes. Anyway, all right, let's move on to the next topic. Let's get out of here. All right, so we can be real quick with this one before we get to the big one. And this was kind of crazy because I just kind of fell up on this, and it had to do with Ninja Theory and Neon Giant. And I will talk about Neon Giant when we get into our next big topic talking about the Microsoft situation. But there's rumors of the devs using AI voice tech instead of humans for their voiceovers. Ninja Theory and Neon Giant are rumored to use this tech, but Ninja Theory has came out recently and said that this is false. But Neon Giant ain't said nothing. So obviously this might be a new thing out there. You know how animated stuff is out here taking away workers, things like that. Could this be a problem for voice actors going forward with this tech? Because I've never heard this before. So let me go to Loke on this one first. I mean, have you heard of this tech going around? And if you have, how long has it been around?
The first time I read about it, I think it was last year around December.
Mm-hmm.
But guys, as far as automation is concerned,
yes.
We need to start investing in like ventures that monetize for us. This thing about depending on your employment, your current employment, it's all moving to automation, all of it. There's even AI writers doing reviews and shit.
Really?
So nothing is safe. AI is doing everything. And if it's not doing it yet, someone is working on doing it. Because even though it might cost millions, sometimes billions to develop, in the long term, companies will invest in it because in the long term, they're going to save a ton of money. And that is really all companies are about. They're all about saving money and making more money. So I'm not shocked that this is happening. We will get to a point where most of development of anything really, will be just automation. It started with building vehicles, but it's now coming into the creative sector. And it's going to be very hard to justify human labor in about 8 to 12 years in most areas. That's all I have to say about it. Y'all get ready for it, invest in the right areas, and you just get ready to be replaced.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean, he's not lying. He's not wrong, because even in my profession in driving, there's trucks, there's semis, there's over the road trucks that has been out, and people don't even know this. They put dummies in these trucks. That's out there that self-driving semis. They've been around for the last 10, 15 years.
Automated.
Yeah. So they are already there. The problem is that when you have certain jobs, and I don't know about the when it comes to looking at like jobs like Dollar Store, Dollar Tree, stuff like that, a lot of brick and mortar stores, and a lot of jobs that's in like me and Sir X-Man's profession, there's a lot of turnover. And so, especially in the trucking industry, there are people, they go through it a lot. So that I already knew about that. When they started talking about that, they started making automated mixer trucks, and they already got them tested. And that was 4 years ago. And they said they got them out there in Las Vegas and stuff like that. I'm like, damn. So what Loke is saying is not too far away. So it would make sense that like Hollywood and things like that. So let me go, since I want to talk about Hollywood and stuff like that. Let me go to
I just want to add a little bit before you move on.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
For truck in specific, they've been running almost 100% in like the West Coast areas because of the super sophisticated internet services. The only thing limiting like an LA to New York coverage is the whole internet situation.
And that's going to get fixed here in the next 10 years.
Yeah. As soon as 5G becomes basic, it's over.
Also, that's why they've been putting magnetic strips in the ground as they're putting new pavement down
Right.
So it can help keep track of it.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
No doubt. No doubt.
And my job specifically, I'm a specialist in procurement. Oh, it's gonna be so easy to get like high chances on my side. There's certain jobs that it's going to be extremely hard to automate. Like for example, procurement. Anyone that thinks about procurement is like, oh, you just buy stuff. No, issue is you have to negotiate with vendors and people at fob stations and borders, etc., etc. There's too many human barriers. So certain
Like
jobs
my
it will
job.
take
Yeah.
longer. Certain jobs it will take longer, but make no mistake, dude, it is only a question of time.
Right.
And unlike the utopia we would like to have, it's going to be hell. Because the utopia would be a situation where people don't have to work and these companies are making their profits, but they're also making I don't know what's in what system they can create, but creating a situation where we don't have to work and but we still got money, and for some reason we still have capital to invest and buy stuff and buy food. That would be the utopia. But what's going to happen is people are just going to be moved on for like moved aside for machines, and the companies as usual will not care for the individuals. They don't care about people. They just care about the bottom line. So it's just going to be a horrible situation where machines do all the work and people are not taken care of.
I
The
got one of
Matrix.
them jobs. Thank goodness, where I don't have to worry about that because
You are
you need
very
forklift.
you are
Yeah, you
very
need
wrong about
forklift
you're very
drivers.
wrong about that, bro.
No,
That-
no. I work for not saying who, but a major LTL. You always need forklifts to
and
forklift
if
drivers
you
to pull freight out one
and
trailer
if
to the
you
next.
think that there's not forklifts that's not already automated or somebody that can
Yeah, for
control them.
warehouses, I know that from warehouses.
Okay,
Yes,
okay,
but
yeah.
not in my industry because we move it from truck to another destination, and it could be in any kind of configuration. A computer will never be able to figure that out. At least not in my lifetime.
Okay, that I was going to say that's what you need to say because that will happen. It's not even a question. If they can do that with a mixer truck, which I feel a mixer truck is just as complex as a mixer. I mean, as a forklift, or even a semi. Come on now, that they can do that with a forklift. But regardless, getting back to the point, but I want to kind of get what Dark want to say about this. Dark, have you heard about this with the voice automated thing? I mean, you would think since you're kind of like in the Hollywood business and things like that, would this be something that is already being implemented there, or is this the first time of you hearing about this?
It's not implemented yet, but it is something that I think a lot of people should be worried about, and I think I mean I hear what Sir X-Men is saying, but no one's job is safe. Let's just say that. You know, the way that technology is going nowadays, and the way that you know, I mean, you could even look at videos of robots that are freaking shooting guns and flipping around and doing some John Wick shit. You know, you could see you could clearly see, you know, where technology is going and where they want to take it. And you know, even who was it? It was God, what was it? His name? I think it was Elon Musk who said his biggest fear is technology and where it's going. For the simple fact that robots are going to control a lot of things.
Isn't that a little ironic though? Because his car is all tech. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So it's a little it's kind of nerve wracking. I mean, who knows? Someday the film industry will just be run by robots, you know, and actors won't even be real anymore. They'll just be CG or you know, they've done with some films. You know, they brought back actors who have died long time ago and brought them back for, you know, of course, it doesn't look very good right now, but eventually they'll get to that point where it looks so good that we won't even be able to tell that it's fake.
Get your
you
deep
know?
fake game on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a wild, like Luke said, was a wild utopia. It's gonna be wild, man. And I'm not looking forward to it, to be honest. I like having the freedom of doing creative things, and this kind of hampers that in a way, and
Yeah.
that's the thing that sucks, and that's the thing, like are people still gonna get paid to through this program and stuff like that? It's just I just don't know. I don't know how this program really is working, and it's scary, man. It really is.
Mm. Okay. What about you, Sir X Man? What do you think about this whole situation, man? I mean, do you because like I said, Ninja Theory already came out and they said that this is the true. And Neon Giant hasn't replied back, but we know that this technology is here. So what is your thoughts?
Well, the technology is here just like everything else. Everything grows as the technology gets better. We never thought we'd still see like real people on the screen animated. We never thought we'd see people getting closer and closer to real life in video games. Eventually technology grows, and I just hope the AI don't come out to kill us later on. That's about it.
Oh wow!
I'm telling you, man, it's gonna be like T2 Judgment Day, man. I'm telling you.
T2 or the Matrix, one or the other, right?
Or Matrix, yep, one or the other.
Yeah. All right, because I could definitely see the Matrix being some real shit, even Terminator. So which is really kind of crazy,
for sure.
And if anybody watched the movie 1884, like that seems to be the more realistic outcome. So that's kind of crazy. But anyway, all right, so let's go to you, John Wolf. What do you think, man? You know what I'm saying? How do you feel about this whole situation?
Yeah, I think that Luke did a great job of opening a topic with taking it down the route of automation. And it's funny because for a few years in my sector, we've been told time and time again, look for efficiencies, look for automation wherever we can. So, back then when I started around almost 11, 12 years ago, doing investigations was, we had a full crew, and now it's down to a skeleton crew. And that's all thanks to systems being implemented, with rule-based and stuff like that. Not to get too much into the weeds, but
Right.
basically everything, that you guys have been talking about is 100% accurate. So in hearing this news, this is actually the first that I hear about this, to be honest with you. And I'm a little bit shocked by it. I don't know why. Even though that it's not shocking, like in like, oh, I never saw this coming. I always thought that the gaming industry was heading towards a route where they wanted eventually to have, just like, full big production films, they wanted to have celebrities, actors, actresses in their games. You know what I'm saying? We saw a little bit of that during last gen. I think a couple of big name actors came out in a few big games. And I thought that that's really the route where we were going to go. That
it just
Kojima
costs too much money. That's what it is.
Yeah,
a lot of money.
Definitely. And maybe there wasn't a return on investment as they thought, bring in those big names. So, just like everybody said, it all comes down to the bottom line, and wherever they can shave off a few cents here and there, they're going to do it. And if they can, the only reason that I think the main concern is, and it's a positive and a negative, right? Because you have you have a great voice actor like Nolan North that, before the Uncharted fame days, you heard this dude's voice all over the place. All right, he's even in one of my favorite games, which is oh man, it's flipping on right now. It's flipping on me, but I couldn't believe that he was the voice actor of the game. When I found out, I was like, oh, Nolan North is in this game. No wonder he sounded so familiar. It sounded like Nathan Drake the whole time. And that was a surprise to me. So the only positive I can see coming out of this is that maybe there can be a little bit more, different voices to these characters, which is a nice thing. But the negative comes in where, it is taken away from jobs and stuff like that. So I understand the human element as well. So interesting topic, Kay. Honestly, this is the first that I hear about it, and I think that bottom line for everybody is, as long as the quality's good, they can get to a point where the interaction between the characters doesn't feel robotic. It feels more movie-like, seamless, kind of like a Last of Us. That's, I think, where we all want this medium to go.
You guys know it.
Not backwards.
Real quick, John. You know what they've been doing for the past few years? That they've been manipulating samples from people's voices and then using them to put in other things, like games or movies and for backgrounds and things like that. As long as they have their voice,
that's kind of what this is. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So it's the same principle, except now they can manipulate different voices, and it doesn't have to be an actor, or take the actor's voice, not pay him as much, and just tell him we need samples instead of having them go through the whole dialogue of what he needs to say in the show or in the animated movie.
That's true. That's true. And the game I was thinking about was Spec Ops: The Line, by the way. It just came to me now.
I did not know that was. I did not know that was the voice actor for that.
Yeah. Like the whole time you're like, oh man, this guy sounds like Nathan Drake, and it's Nolan North. That's why. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things. I can see all angles from this topic, and I'll finish it off by saying, as long as the quality's good, I think that's where it affects us the most, to be honest with you. They got to get the quality to be good, and it can't seem weird. You know what I'm saying? Because right away, us, the gamers, are going to notice, and we're going to be like, hey,
we'll see the glitches.
This is off. This doesn't feel human-like,
Right. And then let me read this in the chat. Simon says, Ninja Theory already clarified they use it for placeholder lines. Then they get replaced by real actors. Okay, so like I said earlier when we first started the topic, Ninja Theory already said that they don't use that. But
I think what he's thinking of maybe is Plague Tale, because I know Plague Tale did that.
Right, so it makes sense. But I mean, don't get it twisted. What I think what my boy what Sir X-Man was saying, and what I agree with is that these voice actors that are really world renowned and very famous, they can still get their bread. But up and comers, you're gonna take a hit, or they're gonna use somebody else. And if they already got like the data access voice, if the voice data from other games or whatever, like Simon was saying, what Ninja Theory is saying that they use, then there's no doubt that they can use voice manipulation to add that type of stuff to their other games going on in the future. So I mean, it's obviously something that's the industry itself as a whole is going to start getting into, and it just goes into another can of worms where Loke kind of started from, and where we all kind of understand that automation is inevitable. But let me go ahead and get what your thoughts is, Ham Solo. What do you think about this whole situation? Is this something that will are you going to in agreement with everyone, or are you feeling a little bit different about things?
No, I'm not really. I don't really have much to add to this specific piece of the conversation, actually. I feel like a lot of people kind of nailed it on the head.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm good.
All right. Well, so you'll be first on the next on our next topic, which is the big topic of the night. So let's go. And let me see what read what Abacap said. Abacap said the black character in Spec Ops, the line was Chris Reed, aka Kid and Play. Really? So he was Play? Oh, was that Play? Yeah. Was Chris Reed Play? I believe so. Wow, that's impressive. I did not know that. Thank you, Abacap.
Cool. That's a really damn good game. That game needs a remake right there.
Spec Ops is boy, that game was
Who said Spec
everything.
Ops needs a remake?
John Wolf. Yeah.
John? It needs a remaster. We don't need no remakes for modern audiences with modern sensibilities. Okay,
I'll take any right now, to be honest with you.
That's true. If they remake it,
I get confused too.
It's going to be some shit that they'll put in there. So
right, yeah, like
okay. I got you.
Yeah. Oh no. So Chris Reed is.
Are you guys
kid.
not trying to wake
okay.
up? Are you guys not trying to wake up?
What are you talking about?
Nothing. No.
Oh, okay.
He's
It's
saying
not
you
the
guys are
first
trying
of
to
the
get
month.
woke.
What do you mean,
You
wake
know?
up?
Oh my God. He said, okay.
Be direct about it,
Oh my God. Anyway, listen, I had this discussion.
There we go.
I had this discussion with somebody when I was talking about the James Bond thing. Like, people use this word woke and have no idea what that definition means. That is not what wokeness is about. That's some political bullshit that's been spewed out last few years, and then they use it and try to talk about like it's inclusion of race or something like that. Or try to take away something. Anyway, I'm not going to go there. Anyway,
Back in the day, woke wasn't even a word. They used to slap you for saying woke in school.
Yeah, go ahead.
It is the new definition of the word. Whether it began as that or not, that's what
it is a new definition of the word, right? Like, people have taken what wokeness is really about and turned it into something.
Butchered
it into this garbage.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you don't even know what the hell you're talking about. But whatever.
Exactly.
But anyway, let me move on. The big thing, you know what I'm saying? The Godfather right now. Listen, I didn't know that this man had it in him. I really didn't. You know, when they first talked about, you know, this former CEO of Nokia, and he takes over from Microsoft, I had no idea. But it almost seems to me that this man said, look, you know, Phil, we know that you're a nice guy, but we know that you're very competitive, but you have an image to sell. You know, like, people look at you as the nice guy, as the person that is very inviting. People will like you, you know, because Phil seems like a lighthearted person, right? But the CEO of Microsoft came out and said, look, I got this. Just step back, man. Step back. So in an interview, he said, I'm that dog. I'm the CEO of Microsoft. What can they say? What can they do to me? Listen, if you have not by this time, if you have not, you've been living under a rock, or you might have been a zombie, and you might found some kind of elixir to turn human or something. I don't know. I don't know. You know what? That's an old saying, but see, that saying meant something back in the old days, because when I always thought it was the craziest line when they said, take the bathwater and throw it out, you know, take the bathwater and throw it out the window, or however they say it back then. Well, that was a real thing back in the Depression days, because throw out the baby with the bathwater. That was some actual real shit. So, and then all types of other little sayings or whatever. So yeah, you just got to look at your history. So, living under a rock, obviously some people was living under rocks. I don't know. I need to find out what they were doing in order for that word to be out there. But for that definition or whatever, to be exploited, I have no idea. But regardless, this man, the CEO, and I'm trying, and I want to say his name so bad, but you know what? I'm not. So I let people on the panel say his name. But he came out.
Satya Nadella.
Satya Nadella. Thank you.
Satya released his inner rock, and he said, just bring it.
Bro, he came there with a smirk and sat back. He ran back on their ass. He said, if Sony, if you want competition, let's have competition. Why are you doing all this crying? Now, he didn't add that part, but he basically, the smirk on his face was so swag. Go, bro. It was the dopest shit I've seen all year, in my opinion, in the sense of like this whole gaming little like infighting that's going on right now. Like, that was, you know what I'm saying? Phil threw a couple of little lines or something like that, but Phil didn't do it like he did, like Satya did. Like, that was just epic. So, and then he had the dude next to him who was important for whatever his role was in. But the dude had a little smirk on his face, like, damn, did my boss just sit there and just tee off on Sony like that? So let's go straight to let's go to you, Ham, first on this. Man, what do you feel that all this stuff that Jim Ryan has been saying and it's been spewing, and obviously this is coming from Sony and from him as well, will this make the relationship between PlayStation and Xbox, and now since we have the CEO of Microsoft stepping in and making public comments, is this going to even make this relationship between these two even more fractured? Forget the community. The communities are already fractured. I think it's only even going to get worse. But do you think that now that we're into a new era of the console war between now Microsoft and PlayStation or Sony? What do you think? Okay.
So can you hear me?
Oh yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah.
All right, cool. So the way I kind of looked at this was like like it was just insane. Like you literally I feel like Jim Ryan and like, you know, PlayStation and whatnot have had some good stuff going for quite some time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the thing for Microsoft is, you know, everyone's asking them to compete, and then finally they do something, and now they don't really know how to restructure their or like how to move properly from that. So it just looks a little like frightening for PlayStation, I guess, even though I think they're okay. But as for Xbox, I'm just like, about time somebody came up to bat behind Phil Spencer with that cash and was like, oh, bro, like we good over here. We are fine. We are moving forward. But as for like the relationship between the two of them, I mean, I feel like this is one of them business is business kind of situations. Me, Cozy, and Lo talking about on the podcast earlier, and Cozy struck a really good point where it's like, yo, and we've actually talked about it on this podcast before, where it's like, you know, Sony's done some things that didn't look good for Xbox. So to me, this is just like the same thing, just the other way around on a really large scale. That's the difference. It's just all the scale of it compared to what Sony's done in the past. As for relationships, I think this is like I said at the beginning, business is business. Like it just kind of is what it is. But the way Sony might be looking at it now is like, fuck, like them boys out here now. Shit. Right, like, so, like we've been knocking at his door and telling him to come outside. You know, got that gun in the hand, hitting the door, boom, 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 come on out. And this dude opened the garage with a Humvee with a turret on top of it. And so, what's up?
Hey Ham, you know these execs, they always put on like this corporate. Of course, they always have to put on this corporate face, professionalism, all that good stuff. If nobody thinks that Phil Spencer and Satya and the rest of the crew are in the back having a laugh at Jim Ryan's expense, you all damn wrong. They must be sitting there looking at Jim and coming out pleading basically, and they know he's doing his job, but he's basically pleading, right? And they're just sitting there and they're like, look at this dumbass. You know, instead of taking what we're giving him on a silver platter, this boy wants to now spit in our face. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those that it was amazing to see. And I'm sorry to interrupt, Ham. I just wanted to bring that up.
No, I mean, you're not lying. Satya's pretty much looking at him like 50 Cent was looking at Ja Rule and all them fools.
Oh,
like,
my goodness.
Damn, homie. In high school, you was the man, homie. The fuck happened to you?
What happened to you?
Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I mean, obviously Microsoft, I mean, let's be real. They got a long road to go. They got to back up what they're putting down. And that's always been like the situation at hand for Microsoft. But
I'm going to disagree with you on that one. I don't think Microsoft got a long way to go.
We'll time out. Well, I'm not saying that they have a long I'm saying that they have a long way to go in like mind share. In my opinion, they do.
Oh, okay.
In my opinion, yeah,
okay.
Of course. And all of this is just opinions. So like, yeah, in my opinion, I think they still have quite some time. I mean, they're going versus a lot of major competitors that's been, in the game for a while. And I mean, obviously, a good deal is a good deal and people will flow to it. But when the good deal was available and then you turned into a bad deal and then now you're a good deal again, that's tough. That's tough to do. And I think they can do it for sure. I think it's going to take a little longer than we think, but it's going to be done. And I'm excited to see all of these guys really compete and going wild, like out of pocket statements are coming out now. And it's really exciting to see in gaming. And earlier, Loke asked me if I like this kind of stuff in gaming. And I said, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, we're content creators, right? Why wouldn't we want to hear this shit? This is fantastic. Jim, you up on the mic. It's your turn, dog. What you got? like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's where I'm at with it.
Okay. All right. Let me go to John Wolf since he had a piece that he wanted to talk about. So go ahead, John. What do you think, man? Like, do you think that this is going to fracture the relationship between? Because, like, we all kind of know they all businessmen. People know each other. They got to play ball. But this is public. This has not happened before. I mean, well, I can't say it's not happened before. It has between Nintendo and Sega but that was a different type of public thing. Like, that kind of leaked out. That was a Japanese thing.
He said, "Bitch, we ain't Sega, motherfucker."
But this is this is different. Like,
this is different.
This is way different. Yeah.
And here's the thing. Here's my point of view on it.
Yeah.
I think that, this obviously, there's no doubt in my mind that this, not only did this move to purchase Activision Blizzard caught everybody off guard, it caught Sony off guard also.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
I firmly believe that. They did not see this coming. All right? And their actions and the moves that they made right after proved that to me, at least, right? The thing is that I think that Xbox, for the most part, they are sincere for the most part. Obviously, they want to benefit from this. We're not blind either. They want to take that number one position from Sony. If they didn't want to, then why the hell are they even playing this game for? Okay? So obviously they're a business. They do want to take that number one position. But the reality is that in doing so, I think that Phil Spencer being there, being the head, is sincere when he says that Sony is important to gaming. And he doesn't want to see them go away. But at the same time, he has to feed his monster, which is Xbox, and the content needs to be there for Game Pass to grow and for him to succeed in as a businessman and bring up Xbox to be number one in the gaming industry, all right? So he also has a job to do being a fan of this industry. Now, where I think that Sony and Jim, I don't blame Jim for what he's doing. The board of directors told Jimmy, "Hey Jimmy, I need you to get down on your knees and you're gonna suck as long as it takes. But we better. But hey, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But forget how much. Listen.
I thought you said John Wolf was the most level-headed person.
Hey, bro. I call it like it is. I call it like I see it, Low.
Okay. Someone get the man some baby oil.
So the board of directors are looking at Jimmy and they're saying, Jimmy, what the hell are you gonna do about this? Because you better figure something out. And that's why Jim came out in public and he said, you know what? I got a couple of handlers there at the CMA. Let's see if we can disrupt things a little bit. Let's turn ourselves into the victim here. And I wouldn't have a problem with it as long as they were making valid points. Everything that Jim and Sony have brought to the table is all bullshit. And us as gamers, we see through all the bullshit, and that's why we look at it and we just laugh and we're like, Jim, what are you doing? Everything that you are telling the CMA is a crock of shit. Okay, you guys are the ones that consistently lock up IPs, lock up games, lock up downloadable content, exclusive missions, etc., etc. And now you guys are trying to play the victim here. That's why I think that everybody has kind of gone against Sony here for the most part and said, "What are you guys doing? You look like idiots." Okay, but the thing is that now we're counting on the CMA, for example, and the FTC to do their damn job and to make sure that they do their homework so that they can see through the fallacy. Okay, and the thing is that Jim, again, I don't blame the dude. He's trying to do whatever he can as a businessman, as the leader of PlayStation. If he can squeeze out 5 years, mission accomplished. Better than 3, right? Shit, if he can squeeze out 4 years, mission accomplished. But in my opinion, the route that Sony as a company and Jim as a leader decided to take, not the one I would have taken. Me personally, I would have taken a different route. I would have said, hey, Microsoft, we welcome this partnership. Let's play ball. We can both benefit from this. But Sony wanting to be, in my opinion, greedy here, okay, is letting that greed blind them for the long term. All right? And that could be because they've been successful for so long that now they're blind, that they can't see clearly. All right.
Someone needs to push back against all this. What the hell?
Let this man talk. Let the guest
win. No.
Brother.
Okay.
Brother, Sony can win very easily. Play ball, and you can have your most precious IP still on your platform. Play ball. Okay. If Microsoft owns the IP now, they're gonna have to play ball if they want that IP. It's not on their terms anymore. All right, and that's the big issue here. They want things to be on their terms as always. Rightfully so. They're a business, Sloke. I ain't blind. I ain't dumb. I get it. Businesses want to benefit themselves and they want to make as much money as possible. But the position that Sony has taken here, the route that they took here of victim, of oh, please help us out here, look at me, poor little me, is not a good one. It's not a good look for the company. It's not a good look for the brand. It's not a good look for Jim Ryan. And it certainly is not a good look for PlayStation fans. Not at all. And that's all I got to say about that.
And on top of that, John Wolf, it's not a good look to go then to watch like the state of play and then figure out just a little while later that some of the games that were on Xbox, I know this was like Square Enix and stuff like that, right?
Well, there was that Project Eve game, yeah. That I forgot what the actual name of the game is, but it was Project Eve.
You're talking about Stellar Blade?
Yeah, Stellar Blade. Yeah, that was multi-plat.
I mean, there's literally within him just finishing saying that, you know, we need this longer, or like or like pretty much saying that they're playing dirty. Like, you see that, which, I mean, I don't mind this, but a lot of people didn't like it. Harry Potter, a ton of that game exclusive to PlayStation.
It's dumb. And last point I'll make, guys. And last point I'll make, and I'll give you a clear example, Loke, of what I'm talking about, right? Of Sony, that sometimes they get a little cloudy in their judgment here. When Spider-Man was down and out in the film industry, when Amazing Spider-Man 2 was not the success that they thought it was going to be, they turned to Marvel Studios to bring up Spider-Man and that IP for them. They were in bed with Disney. They had a lot of success, and as soon as they saw that Spider-Man grossed $1 billion, now they want to pretend like if Marvel Studios wasn't carrying Spider-Man this whole time, and now they want to do their own universe, and they think that they figured it out on their own instead of working together with Marvel Studios to rise the stock of their other IPs. It's not good, and I think that Sony, it's just they see a little bit of success, they get blinded by it, and it really has affected their judgment. And what is that going to lead to, Loke? It's not going to lead them to grow. It's in fact they're only cock blocking themselves.
Okay, all right. Let me go to Dark on this one. What do you think about this, man? You know what I'm saying? You are a resident PlayStation guy. How did you take the whole situation?
A hole to be back.
No, I'm gonna let you go last. I want you to sit there and to let it all out. So when you and Ham or whoever else, if they agree or disagree with what you're saying, y'all, we can have that discussion. So I'm letting you go last on that. I'm not holding you back. And if you want to jump in, you have every right to jump in and question whoever and what they say. I just waited for you to give your points because I don't know. Dark is the only dark horse here that I don't know where he's going to lean on. So I can't wait to hear what Dark has to say. So Dark, how did you take the whole Sadia little press conference thing? And will this fracture the relationship between PlayStation and Sony? Sony and Microsoft even further and start a new era in the console war between these two companies?
Microsoft grew some cojones, some huevos, you know? You know what I'm saying? They fucking came out. They finally did it, you know? I mean, before they were kind of, timid. And, we don't want to hurt everybody, you know?
Disrespectful.
That shit sounded funny.
Disrespectful. That's okay. Damn.
I gotta laugh. That was funny.
No. I'm just playing, but
no, you're not. But that's okay. I like it though. Keep going.
No, you're not. You don't know.
I know. You would have said it if you did. You meant it. But anyway, go ahead.
Honestly, I thought honestly, I was like, all right, cool. Let's have competition. I mean, honestly, competition breeds what? More games. It's more people talking, gets more people going on things, So, I mean, competition has always been good, and I think if we don't have competition, the industry is just going to become stale, and I don't want that at all. Period. I want Microsoft to thrive. I want Microsoft, and they are thriving right now, and I'll admit that they are thriving. I mean, they are killing it. I mean, they really truly are killing it. I mean, they got, even without games exclusive, I should say, exclusive games this year, except for a few, they've been killing it just with Game Pass, and
people forget about that.
Yeah, and then they've been killing it with the whole Activision deal. When they announced that, it blew people's minds. It made people upset. When I saw it, I was like, sweet. Honestly, when I saw it, I was like, cool. All right. It didn't bother me. It doesn't bother me that they're going to get Activision Blizzard, because if I still want to play like Diablo 4, or I still want to play that's the thing. Like, if they make these games exclusive, they give me a reason to buy the console. That gives me a reason to do it. People always look at it as exclusives as a bad thing, but I look at it always as, it gives me a reason to buy this hardware, and it gives me hope for the future that this is good. This is a good thing, and that there's going to be more competition than ever, and I'm excited. I think the future of gaming is going to go in a great direction. But if I start seeing where Sony's slacking and stuff, I'm gonna call it out. And right now they're kind of slacking with the whole, them talking, like, talking to the CMA and saying stuff like, oh, well, this is going to hurt the industry. How is it going to hurt the industry if you're still going to get Call of Duty? I mean, Microsoft has never come out and said you're not going to get Call of Duty. They've never said that. And honestly, why would Microsoft come out and say you're not going to get Call of Duty? Because of the fact that that's a lot of money that they would be leaving on the table. They could put it in Game Pass, but why not charge the PlayStation community $70 for the fucking game? Why not? Get that money, right? That's the whole point of the company, is to get that money. So why not do that? Are people going to be upset? Are people going to jump ship and go to Xbox? Absolutely, there's going to be that. But I think that those diehard loyalists, those people that are really just completely and utterly infatuated with PlayStation, they're they're going to stick with PlayStation and they're going to pay that $70, and Microsoft's going to benefit, and that means more games for us. That means more games for everybody. To be honest, because that all that money all that means is that we're going to get more games and better games, and we're going to be like raking in the benefits of that. That's how I feel.
Okay. All right. Sir X-Man, what about you, man? How you feel about this whole situation? Is this going to fracture the relationship between Microsoft and Sony after like this has been so public now? After Jim Ryan kind of, let it be known that they want this deal to not go through?
Let me clear my throat.
Uh-oh.
The Godfather Satya came out.
Here we go.
And told Jim, look here, little bitch, you're playing with the big boys. We have been nice to you for the past 13 years, and now you're fucking with my business. You done fucked up. You don't mess with my business. I ain't done nothing to you, but I've been nice to you. But now you want to try to walk in my territory. You asking yourself for me to send some of my boys and really put you in your place. I got lawyers that'll make you wish you had stayed the fuck home. Don't fuck with me. Stay in your place.
Oh.
Stay in your motherfucking lane.
Oh.
Sony.
Oh.
You do good. You got a nice little company over there. But now you playing with the big kings of the fucking world.
Ooh.
Microsoft is the world. They're in everything. You may have your little hardware things out there throughout the world, your little TVs and shit like that. But we own the motherfucking world. And you just united us with Apple on our side, Google on our side, Amazon on our side. Man, you doing good for us. But you putting your foot on the wrong lever, and you need to take your shit off that motherfucker and put on your brakes, motherfucker. That's about it. I'm done, because Godfather Satya came out and put them in their motherfucking place. I'm done.
Okay, DJ, bro, this boy is like, man. DJ Birdo Doss said, "Yo, what is Sir X-Man on tonight? Man has no chill, bro." He is.
Man, you've seen it before. You know that ain't unusual.
No, it's not. No, it's not. You know what I'm saying? But like, I mean,
X-Man is clearly showing that he hasn't been on the other GRG episodes, because anyone that's been watching, like, this is baseline Sir X-Man.
Yeah, so far, yeah. But this is. He's starting. He kind of waits. Well, it is now 10 o'clock. So, but he's been started early. So right from the beginning. But he's been hot to trot. But boy, okay. So Loke, here you go. You know what I'm saying, boy. he said Satya came up to Jim and said, boy. You know what I'm saying?
No. You gotta say it right. What? The Godfather Satya.
The Godfather Satya, because that is on my that's it on my thumbnail. The Godfather Satya said, "Boy, watch your motherfucking mouth." You know what I'm saying? So that's impressive, Sir X-Man. Anyway, this is hilarious. So. Okay, so
my
now
voice is coming back. Cool.
And I do. I see it. I see it. And if people can hear me loud and clear, because I know I usually have been coming in very low. If you want to give out a shot to Lethal Papa, you know what I'm saying? I got this condenser mic. I got the Go. Well, I bought the Go XLR, but Lethal Papa got me the mic. And he bought this mic for me when I first started GRG. I've been trying to save money and shit like that. But if I sound good and clear, let me see a thumbs up, a 1 or 2 or something, and say, Mega, we hear your crusty ass voice. We love it. Go ahead and let me know in the chat. Lo, I know that
is the word.
It's really milky past the cereal. Anyway, you know what I'm saying?
Milk dud, milk dud.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop! Look like more like what? More like what?
Spoiled milk.
No, ain't nothing spoiled over here. This is all good, boy.
It's soy milk.
Hey, tasty.
Soy milk.
Everything over here is tasty, fresh. You know what I'm saying? It's organic over here. Y'all limp biscuits over there.
God,
anyway.
Yo, bro, too much information, man. Come on, dude. Damn.
Shout out to Livewire. Anyway, oh my God. Okay, so Lo,
got some condensed milk over there.
Condensed milk? Let's go! Condensed milk! Oh my God, stop it.
No.
Oh
man.
You gonna make me play it talking about you know what I'm saying, some never mind, I'm not gonna do it. Not yet. I'll do it towards the end of the show. Anyway.
Don't fall for it, bro.
I know they over here trying to be messy. But okay, so look, here you go. You're supposed to be the voice of reason, right? Every last one of us Xbox and even the PlayStation stand on the panel tonight. They all side with Sadia, man, the Godfather. Are you going to be the voice of reason because you know how the media, especially IGN, how they cap for Sony, and we know that you work for IGN, so therefore we got to hear that. IGN. He contracts for him. He sits there, he gets paid from him. So regardless, that man, go ahead and do your capping. We got to hear it right now.
You even turned on your pastor voice.
I did. As
you try and fail to paint me into a corner. Look at you, man.
Okay, so what's your thoughts, brother? What's your thoughts?
Pathetic.
No, I know it was pretty bad, wasn't it?
My thoughts, man. There's so many levels. Okay, I'll start at the beginning.
Yes, sir.
Me and Ham had this ongoing bet.
You lost that other bet with The Last of Us. You already know you lost that, right?
No. We're gonna check 12 months after release.
12 months? 12 year?
Yes.
Ham, did you sign up to that?
Confirm. That ain't what he said.
No.
Yeah, I was there. That ain't what he said.
Fellas, I said.
He's switching up the bet now.
Yeah, he is.
No, come on. Dude, I said the remake of the first Last of Us was going to sell more than the original.
No, it didn't.
And then you guys asked for a time frame, and I said 1 year.
Not here in 1 year.
I was so confident.
Oh, you know what Loke is doing?
Yeah.
Go ahead. Well, Loke, you're counting that Sony's gonna bundle that probably with their console.
That's exactly what he's thinking gonna do. You know what? The sales is gonna be so poor they're not.
Straws. At the moment, at the moment, I'm losing like 21-7, but it's fine. It's halfway through. Still have the third and fourth quarter.
Dolphins came through last week.
Just give me a minute. I still have Patrick Mahomes. I just need 13 seconds. That's all I need.
No, you got Danica Patrick. You know what I'm saying? Mahomes.
Oh my god. That's disgusting.
Oh man. Anyway, okay. So go ahead.
Do this to me. Anyway.
I had to throw that slander. Levels. Okay. Yes, sir.
So I was talking about the bet, right? So my bet was if Microsoft failed to acquire Activision Blizzard, I was fairly confident that they would lose their luster in terms of acquisitions and, swinging their metaphorical organs, right? That was my bet, and Ham was like, no, if they fail with Activision, then they're going to go full scorched earth and they're going to buy everyone. Freaking Konami, Sega, everyone. So that was the bet. I'm going to explain the psyche behind my assertion. Satya Nadella, a lot of people are only paying attention to him now because of what he said. But for anyone that's been paying attention for a while, he's been very tentative in terms of like his press conferences or his interviews on Xbox. He's been very tentative. So, and if you know the structure of Microsoft, Phil Spencer is like middle management. He shows up all the time, so everyone gets the idea that he's the big boss and all that. But the guy that signs the checks, the Jerry Jones,
yes,
is actually Satya Nadella.
Mhm.
It's not Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer is just fucking Mick McCarthy. So, my assertion was, I know who Satya Nadella is, and he's not all in on Xbox. So we have to understand the structure first, right? So he's the one who makes things move, and for all these years he's been tentative. And as far as the quote of if this is a competition, let us compete, guys. If anyone's in the chat and they haven't watched the video and they just read the tweet and they read the article, go and search for the video. I'm telling you, there's so much more you can see and glean from the video than just the text. And what I gleaned from that video is exactly what everyone here has been talking about. This guy was like, basically it's just like, let's fucking do this. Okay. He's not double checking checks now when they show up on his table and feels like, yo, I need 3 billion. Yo, I need 5 billion. I need 20. I need 30. He's not double checking. He's just signing that shit. He is down for war. And for me, that's just confirmation of the fear that Sony has. The fear that Sony has, because I'm sure you guys all know on the panel, everyone knows that even after Microsoft acquires Activision Blizzard, they won't even be the third biggest publisher of games. They won't even be in third place in terms of like acquiring IP and, you know, just having a footprint in the industry. The real fear of Sony, or that Sony has, is the potential of Microsoft.
He started off. You know what I'm saying? He must get. Okay.
When he made his.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, go ahead. No, someone is trying to call me. What Satya Nadella confirmed is that all those fears that everyone on the blue side has been having of the boogeyman are true. If you thought Activision Blizzard was like the limit, like this is where Xbox is going to end, bro, they're just getting started. This is Microsoft going full on Microsoft. Forget the gaming side. Look at what Microsoft has done in every other industry that they've gone full bore on. They don't try to compete in all the other industries. Till today, they're still pushing Bing. And in the last financial quarter, they added another 10% users on Bing. They've been losing to Google for years. These guys are pushing Bing like a mother and spending and spending. You think the company that is not afraid of Google is worried about Sony? Fellas, it's not pretty. It's not pretty. The future that I'm predicting is like these guys are gonna swallow up everyone. Microsoft's not trying to compete. They've never tried to compete. Every industry that has ever been open for competition, they have completely devoured.
You talking my language. He started off really slow, and I was a little concerned, but now he's talking like I was okay. You keep it going because now I agree with you 100%. 100%. Continue, please. Continue your preach and your fucking lesson.
Look, let me help you out on this.
It's about to be. Go ahead.
I'm gonna help you out on this. Google, Amazon, Apple. That's Microsoft's Real competition. Sony. When you have them kind of money, then you can play with the big boys. You don't have those kind of money. You can't play with the big boys. I'm done. Godfather has spoken. I'm done.
That's gonna be your nickname, Godfather X, Godfather X.
Look, I'm really interested in hearing what your opinion is on the route that Sony is trying to take here, because I know obviously desperate times call for desperate measures, and like you're preaching, you're saying that Sony right now is desperate, and they're trying to figure out any possible way to throw a wrinkle at this, whatever sticks. All right,
they need to be kissing the Godfather's ring. That's what they need to be doing.
I think that I personally think when I talked, I said what I thought. I thought they were a little bit too premature with this playbook. What's your thoughts on how on Jimmy's and Sony's take on how they're trying to get this blocked or concessed, or what's your thoughts around that?
You guys know what a siege is, right?
Yes.
Microsoft can wait out Sony. That's why they're desperate. Imagine Sony is in their glamorous city, but they're under siege by a literally never-ending horde of monsters. They can have all the super knights they want. They can have Kratos. They can have Abby and her abs. They can have whatever, dude. But
Abby and the abs.
Dude, it is literally a question of when. Unless someone in Microsoft, unless Bill Gates walks into Satya Nadella's office and says, "Yo, dude, don't do this," or unless someone convinces Satya Nadella that they don't do it. It is literally a question of when. Sony is either going to fold, or they're going to have to look for partnerships with Apple, with Amazon, or whoever, someone with the pockets. Because it's just like what's happening with the consoles. Sony is being forced to increase the prices of their consoles. Microsoft can take losses everywhere. They can take losses on their consoles. They can take losses on their games. They can take losses on their services. Microsoft can take losses everywhere. All they care about is market cap, because they can go 20, 30, 50 fucking years losing money on Xbox, because it doesn't even measure up to the trillions that they're making on everything else. They can just, dude, imagine freaking, it's Rob Parker throwing money at strippers. It's nothing. He can spend 10K a night in Vegas. It's not a problem. It doesn't affect it doesn't even affect his pocket money for the month. He's good. And that's Sony's problem, because Sony needs to make the profit. They need to sell you God of War. Microsoft doesn't need to sell you shit. What they need is for you to be on their platform. That's it. And they're making it cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. Just last month, 16 countries, the Game Pass subscription amount was lowered by 20% in 16 countries around the world. The subscription service was lowered by 20%. Why? Phil Spencer's out here talking about, oh, it's hard times for people. Bullshit. Bullshit. You can just take the losses, and the other guy can't. And you know that people, because they're suffering, they're just going to look at the numbers and be like, yo, this service has 100 games, this service has 100 games, but the other one's $5 cheaper. And if you pay $1, you get 3 months free at the beginning. What the fuck? And for the people that are extremely poor, bro, just keep making accounts. You can play Game Pass with different accounts every year for what, 3, 6, 9, 12, $4.
I mean, look,
So,
I
guys,
thought you was done. Okay, go ahead.
Fuck, man. Nah, man.
Keep going. No, if you got more, okay, please keep going. Keep going.
Sony's fucking done. I'm not done. Sony's done. Unless they find some proper investment ASAP. If Satya Nadella is bringing that energy, not just to the chat, but cash-wise, it's fucking over, man. It's over.
Bro, I am.
Loke, that was the longest way of you admitting defeat to that argument that we had.
What defeat? Oh, yeah, that argument. Yes, that argument. I thought you're talking about defeat in terms of I'm supporting Sony. No, dude, I'm not supporting Sony.
Hey, Kay, you know who wins? You know who wins out of all of this? Not only do the gamers win, but the PlayStation gamers win. You know why? Because now Sony needs to compete and innovate. That's what they need to do.
Yeah, they got to find their own lane.
And that's what their fans should be clamoring for. They should be holding the fire to Sony's feet, saying, "What are you guys gonna do to compete against this?"
But they're not. They're holding Sony's nuts. Well, let's be real.
Well, okay. I see Don. He came through the back door too. Look, man, what's going on with you guys coming in? Dark Ottoman now, Don. What's going on in up there? Anyway,
are you upset about that?
I'm not. I'm actually happy that you guys come through.
Even survive without people coming in the back door.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Oh my god,
boy, the trust
is like a dive bar or something.
It is. It's turned into a dive bar today.
The back door.
Don. Okay, so you've heard pretty much. I don't know how much you've heard, but do you agree with this take, or do you have a different take? Now I know that most of the time you're pretty diplomatic about things, so I'm pretty sure you might take that angle. But I mean, I was thinking that Loke was going to take the diplomatic angle, but what he said, I agree with 100%. Do you agree with what people on this panel has been saying, or do you have a different take? What do you think?
I have a different take. I don't know if it's agree or disagree. What's interesting is, I mean, how much time have any of you guys spent with CEOs before?
A couple, not a lot, right. Not a lot. Yeah, no.
I'm gonna say no comment on that one.
Well, I can say right now, I've
a couple,
more than a handful for me,
and
it's a different experience. They operate on a different level. I think people don't realize. And the thing I would bring up, like, I know K-Mega, you've met Phil, right?
Yes.
Right. Didn't he know you? Or
he said
he not know you.
He said he did. The man shoulder blocked me and then patted me on the back and introduced me to Kiki Wolfkill and Cream Crouchy and all them others. So yeah, it was really nice of him.
Yeah.
Even if he lied.
I'm just gonna go down a road a little bit here with you.
All right.
He introduced you to Kiki, right?
Yeah.
What did you get Kiki to say for you?
Oh, #save Locke.
Do you think that was an accident?
Absolutely not.
Exactly. Yeah. And that's what people don't understand.
Okay.
That's what, well, the point is, right? People of like in these sort of leadership positions, they try to make things seem like an accident. Oh, this just random thing happens. Yeah. My experience, my first, I would say, fourth major experience with a CEO of a major company, I was like 21, 22, pretty naive. And I was working for this bike shop, going through college, doing my thing. And I remember our shop was invited to this major manufacturer. And they took us on this bike ride. And the CEO acted like, oh yeah, he just randomly decided to go on the bike ride just like everyone else. No, that wasn't an accident. He started talking to people to make it seem like he ran into me like an accident. It wasn't an accident. You know what happened 3 years later? I ended up working for that man. I ended up racing for that man. I ended up developing products for that person. He scouted me out. And that's what people at these sort of levels simply do. They know what Sony's position is. They know what how Jim Ryan's going to take this. Jim Ryan knows how they're going to take it, right? And so they're playing this cat and mouse game of what cards do I want to show? Because I don't, Jim Ryan doesn't want to show his cards. Phil doesn't want to show his cards until till they like, do you know the thing I know about you? Vice versa, and you can see this kind of all play out in regards to that. And then Jim's got the finances, but he doesn't have the permission, I think, to buy what he wants to get. Does that make sense?
Right. Yeah.
And so he has to use the tool set that he has, which is leveraging the general public. And he's like, okay, well, it's
yeah, that's where I was going to go.
Yeah, like Rome's going to fall if I don't do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so at this point, I have nothing to lose, right? It's not even about like the public impression. It's like I have only but things to lose, right? Because if Microsoft's on this trajectory and I don't have permission to buy what I want, I have to do this. He's backed into a corner. And that's something that, like, I think people in positions like that don't like to be in. They don't like to be painted into a corner like that. And then when you see Satya, he's just like, we got him in a corner, right? We know where he's at in regards to that. It's not that Sony couldn't spend the money. That doesn't mean Sony won't acquire other studios. They just can't get people on their board to agree to probably what Jim Ryan feels like he has to do, to be honest with you. So this is the only card he's got at this moment in time.
But Don, the position, right? Because my argument is that there's a lot of playbooks he could have followed, okay, to try to negotiate, to try to get this deal blocked, to whatever the case, to plead their case. The route that they've taken, the victim route, the poor us route, and it's, in my opinion, it's made that company look very weak, and that's not a good thing for public perception. And that's my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe everybody else thinks that Sony doesn't look weak.
Well, no, okay. So let me. Okay,
I'd like to add something to what he just said.
Go ahead.
CEOs.
Go ahead.
Satya Nadella and all these and Jim. These guys, when they speak, stocks go up or down. All right.
Yes.
Millions or billions.
Their net
fluctuates.
Your net worth goes up and down, right?
Exactly. Based on what they say.
And the companies they represent go up and down.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So Satya Nadella, for years, if anyone has the patience, just read through his past interviews ever since he joined Microsoft. He's been very tentative. And like you just said, bro, CEOs are very deliberate about what they do and what they say. So he was careful about what he said because he knew that they weren't going to invest all that cash into the Xbox platform.
Yeah.
Bro,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well,
after what he said today,
see how he kind of goats people, right?
But can you imagine, like, they've been doing what they've been doing, and then he comes out and says that after years of just being tentative. I mean, how can that not make you panic? That's all I wanted to add to what you said.
He's saying just he speaks less, but when he does speak, it carries more weight because he doesn't say a whole lot as far as the public eye on matters like that, is what you're saying.
Yeah, I think that's what he's saying. I mean, that's kind of...
One, he doesn't speak a lot, and two, he's been very standoffish with the Xbox platform specifically. He's been pressed on it for years, and he's always been like neutral.
I'll push back a little bit.
Sometimes even negative on it. This is the first time he's gained all in on it.
Loke, even though you're not wrong with the beginning of the relationship when he took over as CEO, since there was an E3 right before where he came out public facing and said, we're all in on gaming as a company. That was Satya. That wasn't a double. That Satya said that. So I understand what you're saying, but I think that the actions of spending $70 billion and him facing the audience and saying that Microsoft is all in gaming, that's not necessarily true anymore.
Yeah,
well, I mean, he doesn't comment on it a lot though. So you talk about that incident, you talk about the more recent incident with this statement with Activision. It's not like he says it a whole lot, right? So I think this is the first time I think gamers felt like he was all in it. You know what I mean? It's not just quoting him. Like people are hearing what he has to say, and just like, oh, he's serious.
100%.
Yeah. So I think that resonated with a lot of gamers in regards to that. Do I think that was unplanned? Hell no. Very calculated. Process. In regards to that. I mean, I'm sure he had conversations with Phil. If I approach it this way or that way, like how would the audience, how would the general public take this, right? And I guarantee Phil probably.
I bet Aaron is very excited about this one.
Yeah,
hey,
he doesn't need.
You also know he approached his lawyers to give him best advice on which way to approach this. Also,
they're on probably daily meetings with their lawyers in regards to this acquisition.
They needed to respond. They needed to publicly respond to Jim, and both Phil and Satya did just that.
Well, see, that's the thing right there. Okay, so this is where I'm going to give my point. Like, that's why this makes this so unique, and that's why I was asking the question to everybody on the panel. Because this is so public, is this going to cause more of a rift? Because it's like what Don is saying, it's like what Loke is saying, it's like what everybody on the panel is just basically saying. Like, Sony, the reason why Jim Ryan, this is the first time that I can ever remember, even as bad as the PlayStation 3 era was for them, the PR wise, they never seemed weak. They never seemed in a moment of like, damn, what can we do?
Than anything they've ever come across. That's why,
Right. And and that's why I look at this and I'm saying, like, Jim Ryan being public like that. And Don, you made a really good point, which I didn't really think of. But yes, you're right. Going to your bosses and saying, look, this is what we need to compete. We already got a plan on making multiplayer games, something that PlayStation has lacked. So we have a plan. But
I mean, that's why he got put in that position.
Right.
If you think about it, right? Like that's who was up for the position. It was, I forgot the other exec at the time.
Sean Layton. Yeah.
Sean Layton. But
he left.
Who
got fired.
Stayed behind.
Yeah.
Right. Who stayed behind. He recognizes, hey, we need to compete in these spaces. He understands he has to compete in these spaces. Does that make sense?
Right. And Sean Layton's now is now part of Tencent.
Yeah.
He
may not have the permission he wants.
Right.
That's a different story. He may not have the permission that he wants, but he understands the threat. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No. And so that's, for me, is when I'm looking at this whole thing as how big this was for what I agree with Loke on is that for Satya to come out and yes, Poe, you're absolutely right. When Satya did make the point and said we're all in on Xboxes during the ZeniMax deal, but that seemed a little bit different because I don't think people really understand how big that deal is until we'll start seeing the Skyrims and everything else. I mean, it was just a report that was pushed out, I think it was today or yesterday, from Benji, talking about like a game that nobody talks about, and one game that my homeboy I talk about all the time that plays, and that is Elder Ring, the Elder Scrolls Online. How much money that game pulls in every year. Like, it's one of the biggest drawing games financially every year. It's huge, but nobody talks about it because it's not looked at as, as highly acclaimed or anything like that, just an online game. But that game makes tons of money. So when like you get a Skyrim and when you get all these other well-known games coming out from ZeniMax, from the ZeniMax side, then that's when people will start realizing how big that is. But you're right. The scale of this Activision deal is like something we've never seen before in gaming history. And it's put Sony in the heels, and it's almost like Jim Ryan has gone to his bosses and saying, like, what do we do? What is our strategy? And it seems like their strategy is like, you figure it out. And
yeah, it's like you figure out you don't get no more money.
Right. You're not getting any more money.
You got this.
Right.
You got this money, but it's not Activision acquiring money for now.
Right.
Make it work.
Right, make it work. And so what he comes out doing, and this is the first time I've ever seen, and anybody have seen Sony look as vulnerable as they did. And it's just like what Loke was saying, was that, like, look, the markets, they reacted to that. Like, oh shit. is PlayStation actually, is Jim Ryan actually looking like they're vulnerable? And so, like you were saying, Don, too, Satya and them seeing it. And so now having the CEO, that's what I was telling in the beginning of the show, or when we were beginning of this topic, he put the hand on Phil's chest and no, I got you. Just play your position, being the nice guy. I don't have to be the nice guy. I am the CEO of Microsoft. I can get away with this. You can sit there and push back, but if you push too hard, then that's this. But I am the man that can do it. So then when he comes and he presents himself like this, trying to come out and say, look, you're talking about competition, then let's have competition. But on the other end, you're constantly over here trying to get the PR, trying to play the PR game and trying to have journalists and other people like that. I'll read a couple of those things here in a little bit, but of what one of these people, Derek Strickland, what the stuff that he was saying, they're trying to make it be painted as that Xbox or Microsoft is this big, huge conglomerate, and Sony is like a brick and mortar store, a mom and pop store, trying to hold on against the big evil corporation. While Sony has been the big evil corporation this whole time once they came into gaming.
Simply not true.
I've got an analogy.
Yeah,
I've got an analogy. I'd like to put forward. Real quick, Don. Real quick. You guys remember the Batman movie with Bane?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
There's a part where someone's threatening Bane, right? Mm-hmm. And then Bane quickly, in one movement, just puts both his hands on this person's shoulder in an open palm position, and is like, "Do you feel safe right now, bro?"
Damn.
That's what Satya just did right now. Because the other dude was feeling like he was in power, and then this big ass dude just puts both his arms on your shoulder real quick before you can even breathe, and he asks you, "Are you feeling safe right now, fellas?" I need to go. I'm about to get on the plane. Y'all have a good one.
Thank you so much, man. Where can they find you at, Logan, before you go?
Ham Solo, my secretary, is gonna give y'all my handle.
Okay, I will make sure that
that boy just treated you like Jim Ryan.
I thought you were his secretary because you were always wearing a tie and everything. I thought you were his secretary.
No, he's Satya. Yeah, he's Satya. He's the one that put the hand on the shoulders.
Pay attention. You need to pay attention.
He said Ham Solo gets the coffee. He's the one that sits there and tells him to go get it.
Okay.
Cheers.
Shut up.
All right, man. Good shit, man. Good shit, man. It was great talking to you, bro.
And Kay, to your point, Sony with themselves painting themselves in this picture, right? In this light to try to get this deal blocked, because that's ultimately what they want, is for the deal to get blocked. That's where we're counting on the CMA and the FTC to do their homework, to say to Sony and push back a little and say, even if you're in second or third position, you ain't going to go out of business. Well, you can still compete.
This is another thing too about it, as well as politics, and I think Don will agree with me on this. Is that for Satya to come out and say, "Look, I'm sure that the deal is going to." I know that that's part of PR talk, but Satya has so much. Especially with the U.S. market, like he's part of the U.S. government. Like Microsoft, that deal is done. The U.S. that's it. You get that? That's fine. Only thing that U.S. can do is just like what is his name? The lawyer that talks about gaming content. Like he said, the only thing that the deal will still go through regardless. Only thing that the United States can do is just sue. But the United States is not going to sue because Microsoft is doing security for the fucking Pentagon.
This is not even politics. It's already done.
Yeah, it's already done.
No. It has nothing to do with their connection to the government or anything like that. They sent a response letter to, I forgot the agency that oversees everything.
That's his name. Thank you, Sleepy.
Yeah, but the agency that overlooks it in the United States.
The FTC.
The FTC. So FTC said, "What about this?" They responded, and if they don't respond in a certain period of time, the deal goes through. It's done.
Yeah.
On the United States side of things. The
Okay.
FTC did not respond.
So is your theory is your theory perhaps, Don, that maybe the CMA did a little pushback and it's not as conspiracy theorists like myself think? It's not that Jimmy has lobbyists in there or anything like that. It's just the CMA trying to look to the masses as if they're actually doing something.
Well, the only power Sony has is because they, UK and stuff like that views things a little bit differently as far as monopolies in comparison to the United States.
And they have a good relationship with Japan. Yes, no doubt about that. Right.
But the only card that Sony really has in that situation is to leverage the general public, right? The public perception, right? That's the only card that they have. It's not that they have some special insight to force them to be able to, take a second look at it or anything like that.
It's the only card they ever had.
But they could influence the general public. They know Sony is popular in, because Sony has this weird thing in Europe, right? In particular, is when people say video games, they say, "Oh, PlayStation," right? They don't think of other platforms nearly as much as, it's kind of like, like the moms. Like my mom used to always say, "You playing that Atari?" "No, it's a Nintendo, Mom." Right?
Right.
And that's how it's in the UK. It's like, "Oh yeah, I'm playing video games." They're like, they don't ask you if it's, "Oh, you mean PlayStation?" That's typically how that conversation happens out there. So it's more in the general zeitgeist. So when they play the victimhood, we're going to be picked on. People are like, "Oh yeah, I know PlayStation. Oh yeah, I know Sony." Like it's part of the general populace. So you get not just the dedicated gamer that's super passionate, but you get other people that start to question it that are not your average gamer, right? That just know of video games. And so, they'll have an opinion just like anyone else does, but it's not the same thing. But no, I don't think there's a conspiracy. I don't think even Microsoft, I don't think has leverage in the sense of, because our government's too, even though like businesses try to get their claws into governments so they can leverage deals for themselves, they can only get so far, and there's always competing interests within especially the way the United States government is, where those powers are separated for a reason, right? So, they still have to play ball like everyone else. They can kind of put their finger on the scale, but they can't really force it. And the same thing, I think, also with Sony trying to block it in other countries. Their perception of things is different. Like if you go to UK and you talk about loot boxes, they're all, it's gambling. Come to the United States, they're like, kinda, maybe, not really, sorta, but I see what you're saying. You know what I mean? Like they're kind of, so, public perception is different, and that's also influenced by government agencies as well. So, they're just going to approach it a little bit differently and just part of the game. And who knows, maybe those parts of Activision get sold off separately and Microsoft doesn't buy them. Maybe it doesn't become part of the deal.
There's
always that too. So.
Well, that's a good segue, because we're going into the other part of this. Since we will talk about PSVR next week, and then and the last topic is really a little fun topic, because it just blows my mind about how much money has been spent on this one particular game, and the game is not even out yet. But to move forward past this, right? Like, I mean, we all agree that Sony has shown vulnerability by going public like this. But let's just say that public perception does get a hold of things, because I was going to read, I'll just read just this one thing right here, because I thought this was nonsense. And this is right here, this man, Derek Strickland, he works for Tweak Towns. He's an editor. And he says right here, like, Sony is also expanding the PC. However, the expansion is slow, yet and it's expected to significantly affect revenues. Sony expects to make $300 million from PC games this fiscal year. Conversely, Sony made $7.6 billion from microtransactions alone in the year 2021. He said the assertions that Sony is expanding to justify that a company with one of the farthest reaches in the entire tech industry owns some of the most powerful non-Nintendo IPs on the planet doesn't sound right. Destiny, the entire 30 billion, he says Destiny, and then you look at the entire $30 billion Call of Duty franchise. It doesn't compete. He also says consoles don't matter hugely to Microsoft in the grand scheme of things until they need to use Sony's market position in an argument. Microsoft is ramping up massive service growth in a degree we don't fully know about yet. He's saying metaverse, game, ad tech, etc. Sony is just now solidifying its service infrastructure to serve as a cross-platform ramp and its live games, which it also just now starting. Live games are immensely risky. Building this kind of platform is risky and fully on growth pains. Microsoft already has this platform. Now he keeps continuing to try to make this point, but while this man is saying all this stuff, only thing that I was reading when he was bringing this up is that, well, is that Microsoft's fault for them to be innovating and already being a step ahead? Because, I mean, when it came to the whole game streaming aspect of it, Sony was first. They just got greedy with it and didn't know what they wanted to do with it. So what do you guys think about what this man is saying? Like, I mean, do you feel like it's more like crocodile tears to try to do the PR game to make people feel like, well, Microsoft is far ahead and because they're the bigger company and things like that. But isn't it Sony's fault for they've been in the video game business far longer, and should they have innovated a lot better? Isn't that a management issue more than anything? What do you guys think? Anybody can start off with that.
I think that's a ignorant issue, for them.
Yeah.
I think PlayStation's just in that mode still of like, oh, nobody can touch us in a way, and they don't need to be in that mode anymore. They need to start being like, okay, how are we going to combat this? How are we going to combat that? How are we going to innovate on things that and I mean, maybe they might have to, reach out to somebody to, to invest a little bit more into their ecosystem, I think they're just going to have to really figure out, what's the most important things for them to combat against Microsoft and tackle those as best as possible. And if they can't do it, then oh well.
Yeah, no,
like it's no sweat. Right. It's no sweat off my back. Like it's not like I'm gonna stop playing video games just because PlayStation went completely kaput. I
think that these journalists, they're really, really trying to harp on the fact that Microsoft is such a dynamic conglomerate that they have so many streams of revenue and they have their hands in so many things compared to a company like Sony. And they're really trying to highlight that to paint the bigger, broader picture of how Microsoft is basically, they're not directly saying it, but they're saying that they're taking advantage of their position, and Sony just can't compete, right? But to your point, they're comparing apples to oranges.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The bottom line is that guess what? If you want to play that game, how does Microsoft compete when it comes to televisions with Sony? They can't. How does Microsoft compete in box office when it comes to Sony? They can't.
They can't.
Okay.
Right,
how about
point.
anime?
But that's the thing with those two things, the film and the anime. I understand what you're talking about, but with the film and the other one you were saying, TVs, those there's other companies that are defeating them right now, and in that, especially in film. I mean, they might as well just pack up and leave because there are streaming services that are outbeating them.
But Dark, look, and you're bringing up good points, and I don't disagree with you. My only point of view on this is that this picture that's being painted that Microsoft can't compete at all because they're just too big. It's not fair. It's not fair to them either. Okay, so now they can't invest in things because they just have more money than everybody else, so they have to sit back and they're not allowed to compete. And I think that's the biggest thing here. You know, look at the company's intentions. From the beginning, Phil has said what their intentions are. They're being upfront with their intentions. And that's the only thing that I think it's a little disingenuous to say that all of these, you know, media people writing these articles are making it seem like it's something that it's not, and that's where I have a problem with it.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. That's the thing for me is just like, okay, I get it, but when Sony has been curb stomping Microsoft, was it Xbox gamers? I mean, now there may have been some out there, but what were a lot of people that had common sense were saying the problem was? It was Xbox management. They were the reason why Sony was beating their ass last generation. Xbox kept making, and Xbox was still the bigger conglomerate, the bigger company, so the bigger corporation. So it's, and matter of fact, even the PlayStation stands use that as ammunition to make it seem like how bad of the management was, and how they kept saying like Firefeel and all this other stuff because
I don't think it was so much the management, dude. I think it was more of the fact that everybody knew, and people, not necessarily everybody knew, but I think a lot of people, you know, talked to their friends who knew about what happened during the 2013 event, where how they were going off of stuff, and I think that they kind of put themselves in a predicament where they kind of had to kind of get themselves out of it, you know? So they had to focus a lot of getting themselves out of that situation. And then now with the new generation, they are running on all cylinders and really, you know, they're not necessarily completely dominating, but they are, you know, boxing, you know, they're boxing, you know, they're
a little bit of a joust, you're saying.
Right, they're jousting with each other.
Well, exactly. Okay, so, but I disagree, because who was the people that were? It wasn't the people who made the consoles making the decision to have the Xbox One be $500, was it? Who were the people that made that decision to make the console $500? Upper management, right?
Right.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Like, who was the people who made the decisions not to make sequels to Quantum Break, or to Rise, or to Sunset Overdrive, or to Recore, or to even go to bring 360 games that people have been talking and asking for, like the Lost Odyssey or Blue Dragon, etc.
Not necessarily. Are they not going to bring those games back though?
They didn't bring them back last generation.
If they will.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean,
Sony's management strategy was so much far ahead of Xbox One's management last gen. It wasn't even funny.
They wiped the floor with them.
And that was, and you know what I'm saying? And as an Xbox gamer, I mean, as an Xbox, as a person who prefers the Xbox, you cannot deny that. The price alone was the main factor. Then when you add the other PR stuff about DRM and all that other stuff, if the prices were the same, I don't think that the DRM thing would be a bigger impact than what it was. It was just more of the pile on. And then on the fact that then you found out that the PlayStation was more powerful because of the Kinect that was forced on the community. And me and Ham had this conversation the other day where I was saying, if they didn't force the Kinect on gamers, do you think, I still think this, that the Kinect would still be a viable peripheral to go forward in this one? I think the Kinect will still be. I do.
There's no historical thing in gaming that would support that.
What you mean? Look at history. Look at the numbers. The 360. Yeah.
The thing is that we kind of
forget,
right?
Hold on. Let me hear this.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Okay. So why did they include the Kinect in the Xbox in the first place? What was the reasoning?
Because the 360 this is my interpretation. I don't know personally, but my interpretation, because it was such a success on the 360 that they were feeling like, well, people will go ahead and buy. We can make an extra buck and then just put this better version of the Kinect with the Xbox, and people will just love it, and this will make us make more money because they had their head in their asses, not thinking about the consumers at the time coming out of a recession. They were
it was a casual touch to the console.
Right. But if they told it separately, I think it was totally different. But go ahead, let me hear your thoughts.
The reasoning why they included it, and this is by leadership at that time, made those decisions,
right?
Because they wanted developer support. As much as Kinect was successful on the 360, it didn't quite have the developer support that they wanted.
Okay.
So without developer support, you can't have an overly successful thing like that. So you're selling a platform. That's what they're trying to do. So they're like, okay, Xbox is all things that I've seen successful. You know, they talked about the movie stuff, they talked about the TV stuff, they talked about games, right? And then they included the Kinect. But the reason why they wanted Kinect, because they wanted to guarantee anyone that bought an Xbox, they thought, okay, we're going to get the same projection numbers we did with 360s, but we're going to include a Kinect, and we're going to get all these developers making the games for that device. That's the reason why they made that decision.
And Don, looking back, right, I personally do think that was the right choice because the Kinect for the 360 was a success for them. So I think that for the most part now it's easy to look back and say what a mistake that was.
Well,
but for the time it was kind of a smart move for them to do, kind of, if you really think about it.
Not for the $100 it wasn't.
You can see that the rationalization for it. You can see why they made a decision, regardless if I agree or you agree or on that sort of thing.
Right.
That's the reason why they did that. I mean, hell, I fully believe PlayStation maybe thought twice about maybe trying to get PSVR 2 in PlayStation releasing at the exact same time and including that with the package deal, but I don't think they could have made that work. So like, it's all about guaranteeing, hey, they got this thing, right? Like it's like releasing a new Rumble motor in your controller later. Probably not going to get as much support from the third party out there as you would if you released it with that product. Does that make sense? So,
yeah, I get it, but don't you think that the Kinect 2 would have still got the same type of support like VR is getting?
No. I think what we didn't realize then. Yeah, what we didn't realize then versus now, right? Like the motion controls were incredibly popular, but they had a shelf life. Does that make sense?
Right.
Like, and they had a shelf life with Nintendo, right? They still support it, but let's be honest, majority of their games are not.
I kind of see where Kay's going. I kind of see where Kay's going with this, and I can see both sides of the debate here. I think that knowing that things like Alexa, things like voice integrated homes and stuff like that have really taken off. I think that Kay, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, you're trying to say that Kinect was definitely a success in that way, but the approach from Microsoft was incorrect because instead of making the consumer pay for it, maybe they should have subsidized that loss. Should have
took that L. Yeah, I mean, should have took that L to compete with it, but they got to. But again, because of bad management, they got greedy. They got a big head
off of the 360.
Yeah, they got a big head. Yeah,
I think they just read the tea leaves wrong in regards to that, because what made the 360 successful at the beginning of the generation was different than kind of what made the 360 successful later in the generation. And they looked at what made the 360 successful then, and they made those judgment calls based on that. A lot of times people think the Kinect was the big problem with the power deficiency between the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, and it did have something to contribute to that, but the majority of that was in choice of RAM. Microsoft placed the wrong bet on the wrong type of RAM, and they basically copied what they did with the 360, which is they embedded the RAM into basically the APU and took up a bunch of the die size. Now, it makes it incredibly fast, but you have to take all these extra steps to develop your game. They didn't have the tools ready. And so you had a situation where PlayStation was cheaper. They made a better choice on the RAM. They had more RAM than people expected. in regards to that, and it was easier to develop for. Like those are all the mistakes that Xbox did. But back to what we're talking about here is Xbox. When we're talking about where Sony says they can't compete, Xbox folded their cards a little bit early in the game of last gen. We all know it.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah, they did. Yeah.
And what they did is they said, okay, we know games as a service is trending. It's trending upwards. Continue the trend. So let's invest there, right? We know we have to come up with their own service. That's where they have Game Pass, right? So they're building up to this. They sacrificed a lot of stuff. The reason why we didn't get a second Recore or these other games where, maybe Sony would have doubled down on a one-time franchise, Microsoft wasn't, because they were planning for this move right now that we're dealing with. Sony didn't place their bets there.
That makes sense.
Bets in the here and the now.
Right.
They didn't know if this was going to take off. This is something that Sony has a hard time with. Like, they're good with the here and now, but they're not as good with projecting the trends going forward. Sometimes Microsoft projects a little too far forward and they miss the target. I think with a lot of their products, I think we all can agree to that. So,
Kareem Crouch, he said, I hate butchering his last name, but the maker of the Xbox One X and the Series X, he, a matter of fact, I think he's the lead maker of all the consoles. The Indian man, the Indian gentleman from Indiana. He made sure he let me know that. He says, I'm Kareem from Indiana. And I said, I'm a Kareem from Oklahoma. And so that's how we really enjoyed that. But that I think, and that's what thing he told me was that how many years they had these consoles already planned. Now the Xbox One X was a little different because Phil came to them and was like, nah, we aren't going to fold to the, we're not going to be caught into this position where our pants is down saying that we have the lesser console. The more powerful console. We're not doing that no more.
Phil was like, okay, how do we build the reputation that we're known for? What are fans buy our stuff for? And how much time, what do we need to spend to buy ourselves time for this?
Yeah.
Right? And that's what they're doing. Is they bought their time for this, and now this stuff is all coming to fruition, and now Sony's going, well, we didn't save for this rainy day. Does that make sense? So.
Yep, and now they're asking, how can we buy time?
Right. That's exactly because that's exactly right. Okay. All right. I mean,
I've been saying this for weeks. Buying time.
They're buying time. Go ahead, Ham. Sorry.
No, that's it.
Oh,
that's
okay.
all I had to say.
All right. So let me ask this quick question, and then we got the last topic, and then we're getting out of here. And that's going to be a quick topic. So that's not going to be anything really long. Okay. So regardless if the deal goes through with Activision and Microsoft or not, there's already rumors that saying that there's studios already being got. Now, who do you think those studios might be? Already. And so I'm going to start off with you. I'll start off with Optimus. You know what I'm saying? Because Phil and now the Godfather. Let me say that. You know what I'm saying? Sir X-Man. He gave the man a name, so I got to give him the Godfather. Sadia. They're pretty much saying that, like, look, they're not done with whatever that they're doing. And so also from other entities, I'm hearing that they've already got some deals done. Who do you think? And it's not like a passion thing. Like, of course I would say, yeah, they got the Tekken franchise. No. This, who do you think is those studios that Microsoft would already have or that they may acquire? I'm going to start with you, Optimus.
I think Asobo will probably be one of them.
Okay.
For the simple fact that they have a good relationship with that team, and it seems like they're going to continue to build that relationship with them. And I know people are like, Team Asobo, who's that? It's the developers of Plague Tale Innocence, Plague Tale Requiem,
Flight Sim.
Yeah, Flight Sim. I think they just have a good repertoire with that company. So I could see them absolutely buying that company and putting them as a exclusive developer for Xbox and PC. who else? I don't really know, man. I mean, it's really up in the air as to who else they would try to get. I would think, I don't think they're gonna get at EA or something like that, because EA doesn't seem like they want to sell. They just kind of want to, be the team that's just like, oh, well, we're gonna put our games on every console. I mean, they even came out, I think, this week, that said that they were like, yeah, this is a good opportunity for us, with this.
Hey,
with this
yeah, PlayStation can get Battlefield. That would be good for
Right.
Battlefield. I love
Right.
Battlefield, so yeah, that'd be great.
So I think there's definitely, I think, I'm trying to think of what else they could probably do. Maybe WB, but I don't know if that's still on the table or not, because Discovery owns WB now. So I don't know if WB Games is on the table. Maybe NetherRealm, if NetherRealm decides to split from EA. I mean, not EA, but from Warner Bros. If they decide to split,
they are independent.
They are independent. So
they are independent. There was a I did a video about that a couple of weeks ago when they where they were selling their dog. I mean, not dog, but their
Let's clarify.
Yeah.
Not necessarily independent.
Right.
They're not part of Warner Brothers.
They're not part of Warner Brothers, right? Like, let me make that point, because somebody might have already acquired them and we don't know yet.
Right. And I'm assuming.
Stop that! Stop that!
And very important here.
How's it going, guys?
Oh man! But
and very important here, I think that the Mortal Kombat IP also comes with them.
Oh yeah, no, they own the Mortal Kombat IP.
The Mortal Kombat IP would come with them. Yeah. I don't know if they'll get Tekken. I mean, Tekken has
No, Namco Bandai is too big. They're not too big, but they're massive.
They've kind of hit everything on all cylinders, with
Elden Ring
and I think they're in a good position right now.
Yeah, DBZ fight. They're.
We can kind of do no wrong right now, in a way.
Yeah.
So I think they're kind of just gonna do their own thing. I kind of have to think of maybe possibly going to a company that they that no one would expect, which would be
don't do it.
What is that?
Don't do it.
Shit. I'm having a brain fart right now. I mean, maybe
you don't had enough picks. Leave stuff for other people.
I know it's late. Well, I'm trying to wrap it up so we can get out of here. But
Ham will.
I'm sure some people will probably say it, but yeah. Okay. Those are good.
I'm just waiting.
And Sir X-Man.
I was thinking he was going to say platinum.
Okay, so Ham, let's go to you. Let's go to you, Ham. Let's go to you, Ham. Sir X-Man, we'll go to you.
If anybody to acquire platinum would be losing money on that one.
I mean, the only thing with platinum.
Well, they say Xbox is acquiring studios that are hurting,
right? They are. And that studio is leaking. It ain't bleeding. It's leaking.
It's draining. What are you talking about?
Boy, at Babylon, out of them. GameStop, out of all stores, giving away Babylon Falls. Giving away.
Yeah.
Bro. Just get mine out of the way.
Okay, yes, sir. Go ahead, Sir X-Man.
I've been quiet the whole time, chilling.
I know you've been very quiet. I'm sorry. I was going to go to you after Ham, but you go ahead.
Because usually it's pretty loud.
He is pretty loud.
Go ahead. It's getting late for you in California right now.
Oh my God!
You can't stay up like us.
I know
it
is 12. It is what? Well, no, it's 10 o'clock. Well, no, it's 9 o'clock over there.
It's 9 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock.
Yeah, 9 o'clock's your bedtime out there. Shut up.
Well, then give your pick so the man can go to bed. What do you got?
I still believe.
I said not with passion. I said logically, and you're going to bring your passion into it, wanting this. But go ahead and say it.
There's passion and logic in there. I still hope and believe that they can get Crystal Dynamics, and Embracer Group will sell them to them for more than what they paid to get Crystal Dynamics. That's still my dream. So you can have your single player game that is huge. And since Sony fans don't really care about Tomb Raider anymore, I had to put that out there, then it won't matter if it comes over to Xbox. That's all I wish. Okay. And they're already working with Microsoft, so
they are with an initiative. So I mean, it's not out of the realm, but I'm just, but you're thinking with your heart, and I said think logically.
No, I'm thinking logically too, because Embracer Groups buys some studios and then sells them for more than what they pay for. That's how they make money that way too. They've done that.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks.
All right.
Well, I mean, if you really think about it, you can even say this about Tencent as well. They're buying all these studios. People think maybe they're just trying to make profit off all these studios, and which they can. But maybe they're reading the tea leaves of everyone buying everybody up, and they're like, you know what, we're going to own a bunch of shit, and then see who's going to pay us top dollar for what we purchased.
It's like buying a stock. You buy it at a low, you sell it for a high.
Yeah, exactly. So let's say you're like a company like Tencent, and you see Amazon hopping in the market, you see Google hopping in the market, you see Sony, you see Nintendo, you see Microsoft, and you're like, well, who else is going to join this? Like, well, they're going to need studios. We got studios. Does that make sense? And so
see, Measure. Don's proved my point. Thank you, Don.
Don is just nice. I'm not. Anyway.
I've been thinking about it. That's a cutthroat thing to do, right? Like you buy a bunch of shit because people want it.
It happens in business.
They make money,
Yeah, and then they have all the intentions not to, maybe keep it for 5 or 6 months. I mean, this happens in corporate America all the time. Is people buy stuff, they only plan on keeping it for a certain period of time. When the value raises to a certain point, they're willing to sell it to that bidder. In regards to that, so. Who knows if that's what their game plan is? It's interesting to see.
I would think that honestly, I would just think that Embracer would want to see if their investment is worth it or not by letting some of their IPs.
Yeah, but they only paid $300 million for the company. If Microsoft says, "Look, we'll give you 400 million, 1000 million," you know what I mean?
I think that ship sailed, guys. I think that ship sailed. And the reason it sailed is because Microsoft is in the middle of this acquisition with Activision. If they weren't doing that
after.
No, I got you, but I think that it's done. Square Enix was looking to sell to cut some of the fat so that they can eventually be purchased by Sony. And I honestly think that that ship sailed on Microsoft, and they had bigger fish to fry, and the Activision deal is more important than in this particular case the Tomb Raider franchise or anything like that, or Crystal Dynamics. So I think it's done. I think that they saw it sail by and they said, our hands are tied at the moment. We can't do anything about it. We got to let it go.
All right. Great point. Okay, so Sir X-Man don't want to hear no opposition on that. I know he doesn't want to hear it.
I mean, counter your point is they said they're not done.
You did.
They're not done.
No, they're not done. But and I'll let you guys go, and I'll let you know what my picks are after. I don't want to interrupt anybody, but I just think that there's at this stage of the game, right, when this Activision deal came up, anything that they had on their forecasted on their roadmap, everything was put to the side. So if anyone comes and purchases Crystal Dynamics, for example, or whoever else they had on their list, they're looking at it and they're saying, you know what, the Activision deal's bigger, and we got to let it go. We can't do anything, and we got to hope that they're there when this Activision deal closes up.
I 100% agree with that, because this is all hands on deck. It's too big of a acquisition to let it fall through the cracks, right? So, but the question is, what are they going to do afterwards? What are they going to target afterwards in regards to that?
Right.
Yeah. Now, Sir X-Man,
it's just till there's an announcement. None of this stuff's off the table. Just right now, it's just like
absolutely.
Yeah, just a hard pause for sure. So.
Yeah. No, Sir X-Man could get his wish, but I think after we'll see. After they drop those, he gets some of his wish. No. I
hope I'm wrong.
I mean, I hope I am too, because I would love to have Tomb Raider as an exclusive to Xbox. That would be fantastic. But I think that overall, I think that
Jim can cry about that one too.
No, Jim wouldn't care about that. They got Nathan Drake.
We
so they're
had
fine.
Tomb Raider first. How are they gonna do that?
Well, no, actually Sega did, but regardless, I
got it from my Saturn.
Yeah, but the reality is I think that they want to see, because they already are talking about bringing those older IPs like what is it, Deus Ex, and then they have the vampire game, Legacy of Kain. And then of course they would probably do another Tomb Raider. And if, let's just say, none of those games really resonated, because let's just say that the Embracer Group doesn't put in the money that Square want. I mean, not Square, but that Eidos wants, then and if those games doesn't sell well, then that could be a possibility after that. I just think that they want to check out their investment first. But I mean, but that's fine. That's why I'm not. When I say my part, my few, it's not going to be with any passion. It's just going to be just logically, just kind of throwing it out there. So Ham Solo, who do you think, other than Platinum Games, brother? No, he cleared his throat.
Can anybody hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can anybody hear me?
We can hear you.
Alex, may I please get Sony Interactive for 500?
Oh my God! Stop that! Man. Oh my God!
I'm just kidding.
Oh man! Hold on, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be right back. Oh my God!
That boy must have taken some NyQuil.
Oh my God! All right, no, but seriously, I think it'd be pretty cool. I mean, Sega sounds dope to me.
There you go.
I mean, I'd really like Sega. Yeah, I just think that right there would be a pretty fire decision. I think that's pretty much them, and maybe somebody bleeding like Platinum. So that's kind of the direction I think they'd go, is somewhere in Japan or just in the Eastern market is where they may want to pick their next studio. I might be wrong, but I think it's going to be in that general directional area.
I agree.
But
I'm surprised no one said CD Projekt Red.
Yeah.
Right. I don't
Actually,
think
I
didn't say that because I don't think it.
They're partly government.
Yeah,
CD Projekt Red is part government too. So
when you look at the game plan, right, that Microsoft has put in place, it's global dominance. It's reaching those billions of gamers, and I like what Ham is saying with Sega, because Sega is a publisher that is beloved in Japan. It could definitely, they can draw on the name of Sega. It has, it doesn't have the same power as a Nintendo, or maybe not as a PlayStation, but it does have some weight to it. So when you can get, a publisher like Sega under your umbrella, and you can get Atlas with the Persona games and so forth, now you're making games for that Japanese audience. And I think that would definitely be that's a good pick by Ham Solo there.
Can I get just a sneak small one in? Because this K-Mega would love this. If they got Crytek back, if they were to get Crytek, because then he could have his Rise too. That would be a good hit.
I mean, I would love it. Yeah.
I mean,
I just don't know though.
You know what would be like just for fun? I'm gonna say a random one. Nintendo, that would be like
don't say Nintendo.
Wild. No, this is not Nintendo at all, or any other person that has a platform that they sell. I was thinking THQ, just for the damn
Nordic. Yeah.
THQ would be super dope, just because, and I'm talking nostalgia purely.
I agree with you on that one. That would not be a bad pick.
I mean, it's just too bad that their games are very hit and miss, though.
So, do you think they're in a situation where they're going to buy another publisher that owns a bunch of studios? Or
I don't. I think that I don't think that they'll get a publisher for a very long time.
I think.
I think they're going for studios. Yeah.
That puts them in a weird spot, though. If you either way, right? Like if you're going after existing publishers, there's only so many, right? And if you're going after individual studios, unless you're new, and a lot of that stuff is being swallowed up, right? So like it doesn't leave you much on the table. So it's
Don, it's a lot easier to go for that than someone that's on a stock market.
Depends on the studio.
I mean, if they have an opportunity to get Sega, then yeah, they would. I think that would be ideal. Or Koei Tecmo, that would be ideal. Other than that, I don't think that they'll ever touch another a publisher for a long time, just because of the headache of what they're doing with Activision.
Not a big boy.
Yeah, I think another. But Kay, at the same time, unless another deal of a lifetime comes through, like Activision, they're gonna be in the room with the conversation.
Oh no, they definitely will. Like, I mean, that's what I'm saying. A Sega or a Koei Tecmo, yeah, that would definitely be worth going through all this hell to get those. Other than anything else, no. I mean, it just wouldn't make any sense logically because of the uproar that's already happening with this. Now, I understand that Activision is bigger than most of the companies that we just said, except for Sega, or if not, I don't know. That's very, very close. But I just don't see that. I just don't see them kind of fooling with that because of just how crazy this situation has been.
I forgot one. I forgot one that I wanted to say, and this could be controversial. You guys can look at me sideways if you want.
Mm-hmm.
But I was thinking Valve.
You know what? I mean, that's not crazy. That's not crazy at all. That's not crazy. You've been
bringing that up recently too about Steam.
Valve, I have been. I have been bringing it up. I still think that Steam will be something. Will be in the conversation with them once Gabe decides he wants to wrap it up. I really do think that.
Yeah, that's been a rumor for the past about 4 years now. Them joining teams. Yeah.
All right. So
one of Microsoft's biggest customers is Valve.
Yeah,
people always forget that. So they make a lot of money off of Valve. So
that's true.
To own them, they do have that strong relationship. So it would be interesting for sure.
And they are not on the stock market. He refuses to put Valve on the market.
Yeah, I think that would just be cut and dry. Open. Yeah, that'd be open. That'd be cut dry.
His company would be gone.
Right. Yeah. That would be his.
He knows where it's at. I mean, he's what is he in Australia now, just selling on yachts?
Yeah, he's just chilling, living his best life. Yep. Okay, so let's go to Don. What companies do you studios or a publisher do you think?
I wanted to be good fits. I mean,
how about yours, Don?
No, but that's not right now. I would have to sell way too cheap, and I'm not willing to do that right now. But no, they would have to have somebody that's a good fit for them. Like that's my big wish and this is a big wish for Sony as well, and any platform provider. I don't want them to buy a studio that's going to clash. I don't think gamers win in those situations, right? I want them to make the best content they possibly can and be a good relationship. So, if they buy a Japanese studio, I want them to buy a Japanese studio that's established and it's doesn't have like the problems with Platinum Games does, right? Like they know how to make their content in the best they possibly can, and they don't need all that oversight from Microsoft. They just need support, right? And in the same token, I don't know. I think maybe a couple more European studios would do them well. In regards to that, I don't think we
talk Don, a lot
about stuff. So what's up?
I'm curious, like, do you ever see, and whether this is something that Xbox picks up or just is just a comeback on its own or something like that, but do you ever see Konami ever coming back?
I always bring up Konami. Nobody listens to me when I say that.
I don't think so. I think the people that own Konami are not interested in the same things gamers are interested in.
When was the last time you seen a Konami game, though?
Right.
Yeah, they did some weird like.
The Contra game.
The
The Contra game. Yeah, I bought that game. I haven't played it yet, but I got it.
Yeah, they're just making too much money out of stuff that's not traditional console games. I mean, the only thing I would see them buying from them is maybe their IPs. Like let's say let's be hypothetical, right? I'm not saying this is what they did, but let's say they have this whole thing with Kojima going, and they go, you know what? Do you have any for one more Metal Gear, and do you want to make the Metal Gear you want to make? You know, what's stopping them from doing that? Because
the IP
Konami probably doesn't even care about the IP.
They don't even care about it like that. And then you got the negotiations with Kojima. We don't know what those negotiations with Kojima was, because if they could say, look, when we're working with Konami to try to get some IPs from them, and they said something about well, no, it would be Metal Gear, because that is Kojima's baby. Kojima would be like, hell yes. There's no question. So I can see that. I can definitely see that.
And then you can say, like, you'll be sending your baby on its last swan song, right? Like unless they
on the Xbox.
Unless they acquire Kojima Productions, right? But the last swan song, but you get to make the Metal Gear you've always wanted to make, and we're not going to stand in the way. Whatever support you need, we're behind it. They could do stuff.
That would be an insane freaking game, dude.
That would be
an insane game, but it's not outside the realm of possibilities of what they can do, right? Like,
could you imagine the
fight? And I'm not even saying that in a good way, because fucking Kojima's crazy.
Yeah, guys, can you imagine the Twitter hate for that? It would be unreal.
I've been throwing shade at Sony all night, but honestly, that what Don just said right now, that to me is a Sony move that is very attainable for them. That's a way that they can compete. They buy those IPs from Konami straight out. Silent Hill, they can make movies off of it. Metal Gear, they can make movies off of it. It can work. That's a Sony move.
Oh yeah, I mean, they may have to get a different producer who may not be Kojima, but
right, but not Metal Gear though. I think Metal Gear would probably be Sony's least favorite game to get, in my opinion.
Why's that?
Because of the fact that where Sony is going, where their direction seems to be going, is they're now trying to be more focused on
games as a service.
Game as a service. And
Metal Gear IP.
Well, no, more than just a new IP, but just games as a service. While Microsoft is in desperate need of more single player experiences, so Metal Gear would seem to be in the wheelhouse for Xbox. While Silent Hill, like everything else, when you see it with Silent Hill and everything else, like I even see Bloody Roar being with Sony.
Nice, yeah,
like that. Those things would be more. I think more of Sony's wheelhouse because of definitely the horror.
I can think of 4 or 5 pitches for Metal Gear to still be Metal Gear and be games as a service. I mean, it's possible.
That is true. They tried it with Metal Gear Survive.
Yeah, you got Blue Point Games. You got Blue Point Games, who are masters at the remakes. They can remake the whole Metal Gear line once again, and also provide games as a service. So there you go, Jimmy, giving you business ideas for free.
That's cool, but then would Kojima? But what if Sony and Kojima has a conflict? Because look,
they won't work with Kojima.
They wouldn't have a conflict. They wouldn't have a conflict because of the fact that he doesn't really have a.
He doesn't have a say, but he doesn't have a say.
Because that IP is owned by Konami.
Konami, I got you.
He wouldn't have a say in that.
I don't know. I mean, it's a possibility. I think it's up for grabs. I mean, either way, it's a win, I think, for each company, in my opinion.
The purpose is the conversation can be more unique. And maybe this is where we're at, right? We have to do more unique things, like something like that, thinking outside of the box.
Right.
To make that stuff. And that, what's good for Microsoft is also good for Sony. So like,
right,
you know, like whatever Microsoft can do doesn't mean Sony can't try to make the same sort of offer, and it wouldn't be good for their platform. Absolutely, would be great for their platform.
It would.
Yeah.
Let me address some people in the chat. Future Generations, you were saying what game was being demoed? Which one? I don't know, because I mean that. Because when I seen when you posted, describe which game that you were talking about, because it was either Wanyang Sword 7, if I said that right, and then the other one was Naruto 4, Storm 4. But anyway, I forgot my train of thought. I'm getting old and it's getting late. All right, so finish what you was going to say, Don. I'm sorry. And then I'm finna get mine, and then I go to.
I'm just talking, you know, out of turn, right? But like, these are the type of deals. Like, are they going to be doing publishers? Are they going to be doing individual studios? Are they going to be thinking outside of the box? Like, you know, the spitball of the idea of acquiring IP from Konami because they're not seem to be interested in it, and Microsoft is interested in IP, and then you get someone else to make it one of your several studios that probably wants to make that, right? Imagine if spitballing again. Imagine if Ninja, not Ninja, it was
Team Ninja.
Not Team Ninja. The other one,
Ninja Theory.
Ninja Theory. Imagine if Ninja Theory and Kojima collaborated in making the next Konami game. I mean, the next Metal Gear game.
I mean, that would be nuts. Yeah.
Imagine how that game would turn out.
I love Revengeance.
Yeah. I mean, you think about these sort of things, like these are the possibilities that are on the table for Microsoft, right? Like these combinations of studios working together, retaining IPs that they never had before. You know, they can also revise the old IPs. Maybe they buy a studio that says, you know what, I want to work on, say, the next Crackdown. Like they're like, oh, what's your sales pitch? And they're like, okay, cool, we'll buy you. That looks and feels amazing, what you prototyped, and we're gonna greenlight the rest of it for you. You know, so there's so many possibilities there. You know, there's older IP they have to fulfill as well, right? Like, what talent you're gonna acquire to work on older IP is something you also want to think about. So
maybe find some company out there that's good with revising older IPs. You know, that could happen.
That's what you got ZeniMax for. I mean, they said that they had a studio within ZeniMax that they wanted to revitalize older IPs. That was a rumor.
Those are Activision IPs, so
yeah, there's so many possibilities.
There's some. Well, no, they don't have to be active. What does ZeniMax got to do with Activision?
ZeniMax is part of Activision, aren't they?
No, you're getting sleepy. You're getting sleepy. Okay. Anyway, all right. So let me say. Okay. Then just let it ride out. How you doing? Let's let it ride out. Let us finish.
You got to put him to bed now.
Yeah. So we can go ahead and be done. All right. So John, you'll go last. I just want to give mine. I'll be quick with it. I think and Cali Rex, he threw one that I was thinking about, so I'm going to just read what else. I was just waiting for him. He says, "What are the possibilities Microsoft goes for a fighting game dev like Arc System Works?" That is something that that was something that crossed my mind because of now seeing Guilty Gear Strive and then coming to Xbox. On top of the facts of the rumors about Killer Instinct 2 and that they went to Bandai Namco on to work to find a studio to work on the next Killer Instinct, and that rumor is Arc System Works. Now that could be something because I think they're definitely looking for a Japanese or an Eastern developer. So it might be a Chinese developer, it could be a Korean developer, whatever the case may be. So I think somewhere in that realm. So that's one. The other one I think that is I don't think anybody has even thought about, and this was something this was very odd. I've never seen this. I can't say, well, I've never seen it, but I haven't seen it recently. And it's almost kind of like a tidbit. Phil posted him playing The Ascent. That's like, wait a minute, Phil. Why are you posting that? Now, I understand, Phil's a gamer, but why are you posting that? I think that we need to watch out and see the developer that makes that, which is Neon Giant. I think that they might be on the list. On top of Creative Assembly, which I'm surprised nobody else didn't say anything with that, because that is somebody that definitely will help 343.
Agreed.
And then so with that, it goes to, and I can't say it because that would be my heart. You know what I'm saying? I want to think logically, right? I don't want to get emotional with it.
You can throw your heart in there.
No, I won't. But what also
heartstrings, K Mega.
No, I want to kind of tug a little bit. But the one thing I do think is that we haven't, you know what I'm saying, last year we heard about the fighting game studio that's being created. Another Realm is definitely on my mind. Boy, it's on my mind heavy. But I think that it's that one of these studios that Xbox is going to pick up is going to be something in the fighting space. And that could be maybe the fighting studio that makes Dead or Alive. If that's a possibility. So, because
what about people helping out Microsoft with that mode on Halo?
I think that's Creative Assembly.
That's Creative Assembly. I don't know. I thought that was Creative Assembly.
Maybe I love you, K Mega, for that one. The DOA team. I love you for that one.
Well, because of the fact of this. More and more information I'm looking, because I try to go deep into find out stuff about fighters. DOA is not DOA 7 is not in production. DOA is for right now is on ice. That's weird, because the staff themselves said when they were stopped doing, because they were supposed to continue to keep making content for DOA 6, but then they just abruptly just stopped. And then they said, and before they stopped, they said some weird shit like, well, we understand about what we're doing. We know that the fans were upset about that, but we're going to make it right. So we promise the next iteration that we bring to you, you will definitely enjoy it. After that, coming up this year, I was looking for more information on that. They said that production's on ice. So what's going on there? You know what I'm saying? So is Xbox trying to get something with that's, is Xbox trying to do something trying to get another big time publisher or maybe a deep partnership with Koei Tecmo? Because I feel that Koei Tecmo is if it's not Sega, it's Koei Tecmo that needs to be that Xbox needs to really be aggressive with, not only because of Dead or Alive and all the rest of the IPs that's out there, but also because of Ninja Gaiden and the fact that you getting this Wulong game, a brand new IP coming on to Game Pass, even though we know the Game Pass, that Microsoft is talking to them pretty heavily. So those are mine. I think that we need to watch out for Neon Giant though and Creative Assembly. I do think that those are certainties. And then, of course, Asorbo is something that I think so as well. But I think when Phil posted that was a message of like, you know what? I love the Ascent so much. I love them so much. I think I want them to be a part of the Xbox family. So that's mine.
And Don, sorry to correct what we were saying. It's Certain Affinity, I think, is who's helping out.
Oh yeah. Creative. Huh?
Yeah, I think that Creative Assembly went to Microsoft and pitched a game kind of like that Capcom game, the one Monster Hunter.
That's right. That's the one. Okay, so that we got
like that was coming out. Yeah, I actually heard about that.
That's right. So you're right. Thank you, Callie. Certain Affinity. That's the one that does for 343, because 343 needs all the help that they can fucking get.
Well, they also kind of. A lot of people branched off from Bungie back in the day before 343 was started, and that was one of those studios that was created. There's like 3 or 4 studios that were created. Like Saber Interactive is one of them, and because Saber is the name of the jets that you have in Reach and stuff like that. So there's like all these like little nods to the original Bungie days, but. Yeah, I don't know. I'm excited because all this stuff disrupts the industry, right? Like every move that Microsoft does forces Sony's hands to do something, right? You know, and then so it's exciting because like whatever Microsoft does, what is Sony going to do in reaction, right? There's certain strengths that both companies have. And so the question is, do you double down on your strengths? Do you work on those areas where you feel like your portfolio needs to be filled out a little bit more? You know, it's a big shift in the industry, and I think there's a lot of exciting stuff coming down the road here.
Yeah,
no doubt.
Been doing that. Microsoft's been doing that in business forever.
I don't know about the whole Dead or Alive thing, K-Mega.
Okay.
Hey.
For the simple fact that Koei Tecmo owns Team Ninja, so
no, I know. So that's what I'm thinking. Like,
but they also have a great relationship with PlayStation, and I don't see them.
You don't see that? Yeah.
Ruining that relationship.
But out of a Japanese developer, I think they have the strongest relationship with Microsoft out of all of them.
Yeah,
I think so. I think
the original Xbox, right?
Yeah,
like that relationship was really
that's
strong.
True, because they did make Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, and none of it comes from a place of hate or anything like
that.
Like,
right.
In regards to it. So
it'd
be interesting. But I mean, that would be a good move for them. Like, you gotta be real. Like, obviously, there's been issues with handling games in Japan with relationships in the past, right? So you need to have somebody that has their shit together, right? And that would be a company that has their shit together. I think it'll be a good relationship. But I mean, to your point though, what keeps Sony from swooping in and making an offer too?
Right.
Right.
Well, that's the thing. Who's to say that they haven't swooped in and made offers to some of these companies that Microsoft bought too? You know.
Well,
right.
They
no
have.
Or the Activision deal goes through and Sony just comes knocking, just like, hey, we don't have Activision money, but we got this briefcase right here. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because there's going to be a reaction to this with Sony. Once the Activision deal goes through, which I believe it's going to go through, there is going to be a response from Sony in regards to it. They're going to move quickly on somebody. I just don't know who or when.
I say I said it was Square, but I think Sony may not want Square. They just want the Final Fantasy franchise.
That can be negotiated.
Because of the fact the way Squares came out and they said that they that they're trying to pretty much, they're not just, they're spending too much money on these IPs, and so they might have to cut back. They're basically pitching themselves to like, look, our IPs is up for rent or maybe even for sale if the price is right. So Sony's definitely going to be going all in for the Final Fantasy franchise. The rest of those IPs, I don't know, but I don't know. But anyway,
it just depends on the games, you know.
Yeah, just depend on the games. I mean, I would love the Dragon Quest series to be on continue to keep coming on the Game Pass and available and stuff like that. That would be great. Or Kingdom Hearts. Like, I mean, that would be. I mean, if
that was a surprise just with Kingdom Hearts 3 going to Xbox day one. You know?
Day one, and then we got all the rest of them, and then Kingdom Hearts is slated to come over to Xbox until unless something else happens. But on Kingdom Hearts 4, so I'm just So I mean, it's all up in the air. Like, I mean, hell, EA is even solicit themselves like prostitutes. You know what I'm saying? It's like, look, hey, well, we so it is what it is. But John, let's go ahead and you finish up this topic with your list. Who do you think?
Yeah, I'll be brief. Just to kind of piggyback on what everybody said, because I think that we've pretty much gone down the list here. I think that the ones that are the most common sense are your Asobos, your Creative Assemblies, and your Certain Affinities. They have their hands on mega first party Microsoft franchises that I think that Microsoft is just going to say, hey, come on in, because we need all the help we can get on that end. And then from the other side, right, I think that the answer's been in our face for a few weeks now, if not for at least half of this year, and that's that you can see that Microsoft is letting it be known that the Japanese market is important to them. Yes. So I think whether it's a publisher, whether it's developers in the East, that's going to be their next big move. They're going to try to move in on perhaps a Sega if they can. I don't know how much pushback they'll get on that, because again, it's tricky now, because now as you go buying more and more publishers, now you really have that micro. Now you really, everyone's really looking at you side eye.
Yeah, got the microscope.
All right.
Yep.
Yep. So it depends. I think that they'll try to get away with it. I think that they'll say, hey, let's put the bid. If it passes, it passes. They're going to push as much as they can until they pump the brakes on them, and then they'll be a little bit more strategic with trying to do lesser deals. But I think that that's definitely where what the upcoming years, that's going to be Microsoft's move here, to move into that Eastern market for sure.
If they
Hey, John Wolf.
Go ahead. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Platinum talks saying they wish they could make a game for Xbox. Their game tanks. They drop, they drop the game by a bad habit. Activision Blizzard goes through. They buy Platinum.
I think Ham, as funny and as ironic as that would be, I just think that Phil wants nothing to do with Platinum Games. I think that left such a bad taste in their mouths that it's like it's one of those things that they did something that is the cardinal rule. They broke the ultimate sin in business, and that's that they just can't be trusted. And I think that, Phil and Microsoft, they just don't want to deal with that headache, man, to be honest with you. They'll work with them, but they don't want to own them.
You know what? I think, what I'm saying? Let's just, for shits and giggles, let's just say this. If Phil got Platinum, I think that they would change the name of that, and they would be and they would add them to Tango Games because of the fact of he used to work
that a while back.
Yeah, he used to work for Platinum, the head of Tango. And
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and if you have him, if you just change Platinum to Tango, then I think that would soften the blow. And then at that point, you could work on that. So, I mean, it is very, very, I mean, if any studio is up
then
for
got
grabs.
A publisher in Bethesda.
You know what I'm saying? If any studio is up for fucking grabs, it's got to be Platinum Games because
nobody wants to touch them,
right? Because if they got their last game, and I understand, Callie, I did read what you said about it was Square Enix's property, but Square Enix put the trust into Platinum Games to make a game that was, and Sony paid the bag to make it exclusive. And then they did this, bro. They're running out. They're running out. And listen, God forbid that. And it almost hurts my feelings to even say it. If Bayonetta 3 doesn't live up to expectation, they're done.
Why
they're toast. I said if.
Platinum Games came mega. Platinum Games is like the Dallas Cowboys.
Right. They've already had a miss. They're not going to miss again. They only miss like every other game, dude. that's how Platinum Games.
Okay. So I know it's a lot. All right. Platinum Games did. Okay, so they did Babylon Falls. What was
strikeout, right?
Okay, so what was the game before Babylon Falls? It wasn't Nier Automata. It was something. It was the other game that they did No, it was the game that they did the Kickstarter for.
What game?
What was that game? Joe something, Beautiful Joe or something like that. They did a Kickstarter for it. Yeah, they did. That was the last game that they made before they started doing before they did Babylon Falls. So that's 2 in a row. That's 2 flops because the game didn't sell.
Okay,
and then
sometimes they do have the 2 flops. Sometimes they do have the 2 flops. They had that back in the Xbox One generation.
They're hit and miss. You just never know if it's good or not, right?
They really are. They really are.
In regards, I mean, they can make a really good game.
Don't say that, Callie. Don't say that, Callie, because if you say that, Callie, then I'm going to sit there and I'm going to hit up Aaron personally and sit there and tell him, yo, level 5 games. Because if that's true.
Astro Chain as well.
Yeah, I know.
Astro Chain was really good.
Astro Chain was dope. I need to finish beating that. But Callie Rex said level 5 is another studio that's in help. The devs behind County. If they
there it is. There it is.
I want it. That's what I want. Fuck everything else.
If they
give me another
studio,
round and give me level 5 games. Phil, you ain't got to get nothing else. And when, of course, you get this Activision deal done, I'm good. Let's go.
If they do level 5, they're and they get them to do another Ni no Kuni,
Mhm.
they need to bring back Studio Ghibli, because that's what they did with the first game, and that first game was so much better than the second game.
They need to get the studio that made
the story was so much better than
Lost Odyssey.
than the second one.
They need to get the studio that did Lost Odyssey. That's what they need to get.
What's that studio?
I forgot what their name is, but that he was the original director of the Final Fantasies, and I don't know if he's kind of semi-retired. He's half in, half out. But
that was the game that they commissioned for during the 360.
During the 360. Mistwalker. That's their name. Mistwalker. That's the one they need to get.
Dream Studios. Let's get through with Activision.
We're all worried about their wallet. I'm all worried about my wallet next year.
Bro, it's going to be crazy.
There's going to be some games
it's going to be nuts. Okay, so the last topic, and that's just a random thing. If anybody can say whatever we get up here. No, this is the last topic. Keep up. And this is just a short one.
Holy shit!
It's not even long. Hey. This is it, and it's
just dropped out.
Bro, this is it.
If I drop out,
oh my God! Shut up and let me finish talking. Jesus Christ! It's not even that big of a deal. It's just a little funny thing to talk about. Shut your ass up, so I can say it. All right.
Now he's praying.
I know. Okay, so, Star Citizen has now accumulated over $500 million, and the game is still not out. Why do people still keep paying for this game? And this is just nobody don't have to say nothing, but I just got to throw it out there because it blows my mind. I read this yesterday and I said, there's no way that people are still paying for this damn game, and people are still paying for this game. It's over $500 million that this game is generated, and this game is not out.
Wait, what game?
Star Citizen.
For the same reason people pay $70, okay? Because people are dumb.
Okay. All right. Well,
no,
that's fine.
Because PC gamers.
All right.
Dumb.
You know what? That's a good one.
That's it.
I like that one. Right.
I like it too. All right. That's all it was. I just wanted to hear what people thought about that because I had to say it. So I don't know
how many. Do you know how many alpha games are on Steam that've been out for years and forever, and people are still playing them and buying it?
Okay, but that's a difference. Star Citizen is not out.
Yeah, but these games, okay, there are betas that you actually have to pay for, and you get them at a lower price. And they can be betas and alphas forever until they decide to put the game out officially.
People are playing them, right? People are playing them. Okay, you're not playing Star Citizen. People are not playing Star Citizen.
They just sold it really well, Kay, and it got a lot of people hyped up, and they got people believing that it's gonna be a really good game, and I guess people feel inclined to support it. Kind of like how everybody bought into the hype of that abandoned game early on, until we saw what a fraud it was. So I
didn't buy into that shit. I knew it was fucking fake. I was like,
I was not. Yeah, no, I don't like the Kickstarter thing anyway. I did the Kickstarter thing for for our boy that sits there that I always forget his name, and he's right there in the DM chats. I feel bad for that.
Just read the name.
You know what I'm saying? Well, he does the comic books and stuff. Everborn? Everborn Saga.
They pretty much abandoned the game, right? Abandoned.
Yeah.
That's why they named it Abandoned.
Yeah.
So I think like just like I was saying and finish up, I just think it's the hope, and they sold it really well, and it's got a lot of people hyped, and they just they'll throw money at it hoping that it does come true.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. It's time to go. Yobi, I'm glad that you love this show. And you know what? I hate to miss a week because this is what happened the next following week. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm listening to Don's proposal, but Don, this is what happens though. You know what I'm saying? Because we kind of catch up and then we get into some topics and then we get into it. We have a good time. And there's nothing wrong with talking, but damn, man, 4-hour podcast. I mean, what are we doing here? But you know what I'm saying? But it's great.
Your fault.
Hey, man, you can ring.
I just go with the flow. Just go with the flow.
On now.
I think everybody would be disappointed if I put a timer on everybody's ass, even myself.
You gotta learn. You gotta learn from Bot somewhat, I guess.
well, Bot goes to bed. You know what I'm saying? So, Bot got to watch anime or something. I don't know, but regardless,
or learn from some of these other podcasters who are just like, oh, it's 2 hours. Okay, we're out of here.
We'll shut it out, right? But I think, you know what I'm saying. I mean, yeah, I'll get better. You know what I'm saying?
It's not our fault. You wanted to go and do another topic after another topic after another topic.
Your podcast
into an open world game. You just he has to get everything in it, right?
Your podcast are longer than a football game, dude.
I'm a fan of the open world games, and so therefore I'm giving you open world content podcast wise. So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining the GRG podcast. It's late than a motherfucker. For those out there, if you got a trip, this is the show to listen to right here. This is the one, because this will satisfy every craving of your boredom while you're on the road. So that's it right there.
Or if you drive a Tesla and you have to charge it. So, I mean, this.
Right.
You'll be out of power before you get to the end of the show.
You're probably right. But anyway, since the old man of the group said he was tired, he said he had to get his graham crackers and milk, warm milk at that. Sir Axeman, go ahead. Did you not say you was tired?
Yeah, but I'm still saying whatever to you. Damn.
Okay, well, so do you got your warm milk ready? Do you when you warm your milk, do you put it in the microwave or do you put it on a pot?
I've never drank
put
warm
that shit between
milk.
his thighs.
I gotta keep it milky.
Oh shoot!
Just don't forget to put on the Depends, brother.
Man, that man said.
Praise the Godfather. Praise the Godfather.
Man.
He has warm thigh milk. Oh, jeez.
Oh, my God.
Milk. Hey, what after what I hear what you do with goat milk, dude, I don't even want to talk to you.
Man.
Cheese.
Bro, did you? Hey, bro. Hey, come on, Sir X-Man. You better call a lady up there and say this to her.
Now, I got an insert for that damn song. I'm not gonna. I got an insert for that.
And you are not gonna say it. You're not gonna say it here. Anyway, you're not gonna say it here. You're not gonna do the insert here. Anyway, all right. So where can they find you at, man? That man said
you can find me on. You know what? You ain't helping. All right.
I'm
waiting till you calm down. I'm waiting till you
calm down, bro. I thought you said you was ready to go.
Y'all ain't calm down for shit.
All right, man. Where can they find you at, man? Come on, man.
You can find me on Gaming After Dark on Tuesdays at 9:00 Central Time. I'll be on Han Solo's show next week at 7:00. And
there's a podcast at 7:00 that you're supposed to be on.
No. Technically, I'm not a full panel member. I'm just a guest, so I can go
Xbox,
anywhere I want
did you hear that?
Xbox
448, did you hear that?
That last
That
night.
boy is trying out the free agent market.
Oh my God. Okay.
And if can't make it act right, I'll be back on GRG next Friday.
Bro, I ain't gonna act right at any time. You know better. You can ask Don. Me and Don been doing podcasting for years. Don will probably say, yeah, Kareem is very he won't call me by my real name, but he will say he's very polite, articulate. He's, what I'm saying? Oh my God, that's it. Anyway, so anyway, but go ahead, Sir X-Man, finish up. So
that's it. I'm about to go get my Z's.
Which cracker do you have? A graham cracker? Is it like a one of those little oh man, what is those little vanilla wafer? What kind of cracker do you have next to your warm milk?
Ooh, man, some banana pudding would be good.
That man said it right there. There we go. Take your old ass to bed.
Baby. We all love
banana pudding. I'm not a fan of banana pudding.
Mix this with goat milk.
All right. So let's speaking of that, let's go to Don. Don, appreciate you coming. All right, man. Good night, bro. Don, where can they find you at, brother, man? Thanks for stopping by, coming through the back door. Pause. But go ahead. Where can they find you at?
Well, you know what? I'm dropping links right now in the chat. You can catch me on my 2 YouTube channels or on Twitter.
Did I give you authority to do that? I'm gonna have to shut that down.
I'm dropping it in anyway, so we'll see what happens.
Dang.
Man, after 4 years of being on, 2 or 3 years of being on Xbox podcast, he never has my links in it. So I mean, I have to drop them where I can, right?
Oh yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Your link is in the description. Your link is in the description when I talk about Devin the Gamer. But you go ahead and post it in there. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. I'm gonna erase it now since you put this shit up here. But go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I see how you treat me after I help you with your video on
Discord.
Your streams.
Yes. I know, boy. It's so delicious. So delicious. I love it.
But that being said, though, you can catch me there. I have a live streaming channel, which is the Dawn Gaming Live, and then I have a content channel, which is the Dawn KTR, which stands for Kiss the Ring. That's something Bot and K Mega both started, and stuff is dropping, and I'm always streaming games every week. Always streaming games. So depending on what type of content you're interested in, I made 2 different channels for them. So.
No doubt. All right. John Wolf, bro, thank you for stopping by and staying late. I really do appreciate it, man. I mean, I know it's been a minute, but I mean, we made your ass get to work. So appreciate it, brother. Sorry for going so late, but man, where can they find you at,
You're
man?
good. You're good, Kay. Thank you so much for the invite, brother. It was a pleasure being with everyone else. I'm a big fan of everybody on the panel, always listening to shows and different stuff that you guys are on. So thanks for giving me a voice, like always, Kay, letting me come on here, try to just talk what I see, the way I see things. Anybody listening, you're interested, follow me on Twitter. The name's just like how it's spelled there on the screen. Yeah, hit me up and we can have a conversation anytime, guys. I'm always up for a good conversation. And the last thing I'll say is, anybody that has their panties in a bunch, competition's good, people. It's good for everybody.
God. Oh my God. Listen to this. Oh, okay. And then we got our boy, man, Dark Optimus, who slid in without without one of the Xbox members, you know what I'm saying? He didn't have one of his cars. He just came in here. He's in his PlayStation draws. He came in here. He's filthy, dirty. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on, man? What are you doing in here? Anyway, no, I appreciate it, brother. Appreciate you stopping by. But I got to do this because this is everybody loves this, and this is what you get.
Oh, hi, thanks for checking in. I'm still a piece of garbage.
All right, so man, where can they find you at, brother?
I mean, I especially today. I mean, I guess I am a piece of garbage because people were coming at me about funny shit.
I know. They were about
coming at me. And I'm all like, really, dude? Like,
yeah, no, I caught it later. Like, damn, I'm like, damn, the posse came after my boy. I was like, oh, that's like, I saw what you posted. Like, I had to defend. Yeah, so yeah.
Some people can't handle some people can't handle it, man. They need to go back and suck on their mommy's titty.
Wow, boy, get that tit milk.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Where can they? Oh my God.
Where can they find you? They can find me on Twitter, Dark Optimus. They can also find me on Xbox and PlayStation at the same name.
Oh my God. All right, man. And then last but not least, man. Oh man. One of the people I trust. One of the people I trust, man. On doing this podcast thing, man, he has been a big help for me, man. I really do appreciate the day that he said that he would want to be down for GRG, man, and become a panel member. You know what I'm saying? I don't like him too much, but other than that, man, he's cool people. But Ham Solo, where can we find you at?
Damn.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he makes it pretty clear that he doesn't like me.
Oh my God, stop that.
I like you, Ham Solo. I like you, man.
It's there.
Fuck K-Mega.
Just getting used over here.
Oh my God.
Anyways, yeah.
He
good
said,
show.
Tell Dark
fun.
I'm the best. Callie said, tell Dark that he's the best Californian. Okay.
And then I said, you can have it.
Oh, wow. Oh, shit. Disrespectful. Where can they find you at, Ham? I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead, man.
It usually takes a half hour for me to get through it anyways, so it's cool.
No, go ahead. Get started. Throw the scroll.
I'm gonna keep it short and brief. Yeah, great show, everybody. It was really fun. It ended up being a pretty large panel tonight. It's pretty wild.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, yeah. Got a couple shows coming out next week. should be pretty fun on my channel on YouTube, TSWS Gaming. We're actually going through some rebranding here shortly on some stuff, so we might look a little different than we currently do right now here in the near future. But anyways, check me out there. I dropped the link in the chat, so if you want to go check out the content or follow, or I guess subscribe, which is YouTube. But anyways, if speaking of following, if you want to do that on Twitter, you can find me at HamSolo05 Gaming there. And that's really all I got, other than It's Mad Queen coming, I believe, Tuesday, and then Sir X-Man coming Thursday on my show. So if you guys are interested in learning about those individuals in gaming, come check me out.
You're going to have a lot of rambling Thursday.
Shows, because they're fucking awesome. So check those damn shows out.
The only show that I checked was mine, which I need those numbers to go up a little bit higher so it can be the best of everybody's.
That's because no one gives a shit about you. That's
whatever. Why. Hey man, I'm in this top 5. Goddammit, you better watch your tone anyway. Whatever. So, but shout out to him, man. You know what I'm saying? Really appreciate the man coming through and helping out with the show, man. Definitely. And you know what I'm saying? Go support him. Go support his channel. I'm telling you, man, he has done more guest appearances than any other podcaster that I've ever seen. Now, I know that there's hundreds of thousands, if not maybe millions of content creators out there, but I would put Ham Solo up there as one of the people that has like more special guests than I've ever seen, bro. It's crazy, of all different ilk. So go check that out, man. His stuff is high quality. In the sense of, you know, what he says. Now, how he looks, don't worry about that. Everything else, pay attention.
Oh, damn.
Pay attention. Anyway, everybody have a good
I got a wife. I'm straight.
I know. I feel the same way too. Like you can say, Mega, you fat, ugly. I got a wife. I'm good. She don't think I'm fat. She might think I'm fat, but she don't think I'm ugly. So let's go with that. Anyway, thank you guys so much, man. Really appreciate it. Until next week, we will see you. But as always, and it's too late. Yeah, if you listen to the podcast and now you going out to the club and doing some shit, then it's too late for you. You ain't gonna get no pants off, dance off. You might as well just keep your ass at home, go get you a chicken dinner, and then just call it a night. You know what I'm saying?
Leftovers.
Yeah, you ain't getting no. You ain't even getting a straggler.
The leftovers.
You ain't getting no straggler. If you leave to go to the club at 12 o'clock and then go hang out. You know what I'm saying? That you only at the club for for an hour and a half?
And everybody's already drunk at that point?
They're already drunk. And the ladies is already choosing, you know what I'm saying? Or men, because we have lady listeners as well. So, I mean, they're already choosing. So, I mean, you asked out. You might as well just go to the local, you know what I'm saying? Maybe Waffle House, or maybe get you a little chicken dinner from one of those little places or something. Baby. Roscoe's, or, you know what I'm saying? Get a little barbecue, some whatever, pizza, whatever. Take that shit home. Go watch a little anime or something. That's it. Or play some games. Anyway, other than that, man, thank you guys so much. We will see you next week. Peace. Oh, nice. We got an achievement for probably the longest podcast GRG ever.
Hey, thanks for checking out
that was a long one, man.
Very long one. Very long one. I know. That won't happen again. I won't. No. That's over with. I'm not going to get lit and just do a podcast again. That ain't happening. I might sip a little bit now, but